All right. Looks like we are live. We are back in it, ready to go. What is good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. My name is OJ, and I am ready to talk about say it with me. Video games. Video games. We are ready to talk about some gaming, talk about whatever else we talk about. Man, it's going to be a great show today. We've got updates to the Eternal Skyrim. We've got Justin dropping the $3 holla already.
You gotta have a Skyrim port on your new console nowadays. It's the law. Lol, tears of joy.
It's like a quinceañera for, like, you know, Hispanic people, or it's like the bar mitzvah, you know, Jewish people. It's like a coming to, like, rights for, like, any man or woman, you know, to have a Skyrim port. This is the video game equivalent. You're not a real system until you get a native version of Skyrim on your system. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, it's like, you've got to have that. You don't become a real console, okay? You don't become a real console till you get Skyrim. And now we have Skyrim at 30. It's still at 30 frames per second for some reason on the Nintendo Switch 2. So, shout outs to Bethesda for doing that, I guess. I don't know if it was them that actually worked on it. Maybe it was Iron Galaxy again. But I don't know whose decision it was to not make the Skyrim port 60 FPS, like, graphics and performance mode. So, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm done with Skyrim. I'm skipping out. I'm good. I've played it way too many times. Like, I'm not falling for this again. You can't get me again. Bethesda's got me to buy that game like 7 times across like 20 years. Okay, I'm done. But for everybody else, enjoy. But, like, Skyrim on again, you know? So, yeah, I'm good. I'm good on Skyrim, but I get it, though. Shout out to Justin. Thank you for the $3 dono. Striking that first Ninja Blood. I appreciate that. Let's go. Of course, you guys know the deal. 100 combos. We get the extra extended platinum streak. And, of course, 60 for the 1 hour. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that, Justin. Let's go. All right, let's get into shout outs, too. Dior was here. Clabin94. It's a really great game on Switch 2. Yeah, it's still a really good game. And yeah, the frame rate is more, it's like locked in, seemingly at 30 FPS, like with no frame pacing issues or anything. So it definitely plays better. But yeah, you would hope that it'd be at 60 FPS for a 360 game, which at its, you know, even if you wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, it's a PS4 game because it's the anniversary edition. Like, even if you wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt, it's still a PS4 game. Like, I mean, like, I get it, but they could have doubled the frame rate and just put it out there, like this, like Tomb Raider. They could have done that too as well. So, yeah, no. You know what I'm saying? Nah, no. Shout outs to Leaf Storm was asking about the Game Awards. We're gonna be going live a couple hours before the Game Awards actually start. So we're gonna be going live on my channel with the pre-show. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Look forward to that, boys and girls. Just another artist, Dream a Little, Mo, Leaf Storm, Daniel Charney, what up? King Tree Freak, what is good? What is good? What is good? Yeah, no need to call me OJ Simpson. You just call me OJ is fine. Just call me OJ. That'd be great. But shout outs, appreciate you. I don't know, it's Vita? What's up? Let's see here. Dane Gonzalez, what's good, Dane? General Zamora is here. Let's see here. Why would they improve it when Switch people will buy anything? Switch people won't buy anything. So, I mean, that's just a random thing that you just said. But nah, Switch people won't buy anything. Like, there are games that haven't done as well on Switch or Switch 2. So, that's not true. Unless you can give me a game that's terrible or messed up from a third party that people just buy regardless. Like, give me a few examples of just terrible games that people rushed out there and bought like crazy on Switch. That's what I want to know. Give me that. What were all those games? Really like the Skyrim Switch 2 edition. The 30 FPS doesn't bother me. It looks really clean. Yeah, I mean, 30 FPS is not like unplayable. Like I mean, I played Skyrim at 30 FPS on the Switch and on the PlayStation 4 and on like lots of stuff. So it's not like I played Star Wars Outlaws at 30 FPS. It actually plays pretty good. But yeah, I mean, like obviously like the stable frame rate, you know, if there's no frame pacing problems and like obviously like the graphics are, you know, much better, then yeah, it's gonna present an okay experience. But I mean, you would just like to see that, like have at least an option, like a performance option, like okay, well, you know, maybe I can play it with less and get the 60. You know, that would have been nice. That's all. Pokemon ZA, Mario Kart World, both of those games run at 60 FPS on the Switch 2. So we're talking about a 30 FPS game. And Mario Kart World, there's no bugs, there's no glitches, there's no issues. Pokemon ZA, once again, there's no bugs, there's no glitches, there's no issues on Switch 2. So what are you talking about? Because we're talking about Skyrim, which is a decorated game that was incredible, but it's only running at 30 FPS on Switch 2. So both Pokemon Legends ZA and Mario Kart World have pretty much little to no bugs, no issues. Not that I can discern, because I played both of them, and they both run at 60 FPS, not 30. So, like, what point are you trying to make? Let's see here. Fun fact about me is that Skyrim on PS3 back in the day was one of the few games I ever returned for my money back over the years, since I have bought it on every console to play. Skyrim on PS3 was an unmitigated disaster at launch. Like, it was so messed up. But yeah. If Bethesda actually allowed mod creations, I'd consider Switch 2 because newest DLC stuff. Apparently there's like a bunch of, if I'm not correct, there's a bunch of like sanctioned or official mod stuff in the anniversary edition that they added. Don't quote me on that, just go research it. There might be some extra stuff like that. So, you said anything that was bad that sold well. Those games aren't bad. I played both of those. They're both not bad games. Have you played them? But no, Mario Kart World's not a bad game, and Pokemon Legends ZA is also not a bad game. So, no. Let's see here. I played both of those to completion. I put 65 to 70 hours into Pokemon Legends ZA. Definitely not a bad game. I put 30, 40 plus hours into Mario Kart World. That's not a bad game either. Let's see. I already made my point. You're free to agree or ignore. Absolutely. And I'm free to respond to your point. You're saying those games are bad and you haven't played them, clearly, and you don't know what you're talking about, clearly. So I'm just responding to, you know, your bad points. That's all. Those are not bad games that you've never played them, clearly. So yeah, it's all good. And once again, those games are in 60 frames per second, not in 30 frames per second on Switch 2. So you brought it up in comparison to Skyrim. That's a 30 FPS game. Pokemon Legends ZA and Mario Kart World are 60 FPS games. So they don't apply to this at all. So it's all good. That's okay though. I think you threw in the towel, so it's all good, you know. Dan Gonzalez, what's good? Dan Gonzalez. So yeah. All right. Take it easy. Thanks for coming out to the stream. I appreciate you. 24 hours. You're not here to actually talk and enjoy and have fun. You're here to just be a jerk for no reason. So thanks for coming out to the stream. Appreciate you. Have a nice day. Yeah, troll. Let's see. Mario Kart World, my game of the year, 300 hours in a row. What's up, Dingo on my 40? Welcome. Shout out to Dingo on my 40. Let's see. Yeah, at least they tried. They tried. They got tired of trolling after I said that those are both 60 and they're both good games. Like, oh snap, I actually didn't play them. I'm just gonna say what Twitter says or something. So, or what they've been watching grifting videos. So it's all good. Thanks for coming out to the stream. I appreciate the unique view. That actually counts towards my analytics. So I appreciate the sock account and the unique view. Helps me do better with my analytics and helps me make a little bit more. So I appreciate you. Thanks for helping. Let's see here. Not only is Mario Kart World not bad, it's downright incredible. Tied for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for my favorite in the series. Yeah, it's definitely... I like Mario Kart World more than most of the previous ones. I think the only one that I can say is maybe like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, for me at least, and like maybe Double Dash. Like those ones are up there for me. But I pretty much like it more than all the other Mario Kart games. Pretty handling. And once again, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's like... That was after years of updates on the Switch, on the Switch 1. So, and then they updated it even more over the course of a decade, you know? So yeah, that one's kind of tough when you kind of compare it. But at launch, Oh yeah, definitely one of the better ones. Like I said, I'm not sure if there's another one that I enjoyed more. Because Double Dash, while it was great, it didn't have online play. So if you didn't have friends around to play it, which luckily I did at times, it was great. But Mario Kart World has way better online. You can actually play online with your friends. Which even back then, you know, back in 2003 when the game came out, like we were thinking, oh man, it would have been great if it was online. I know online play wasn't. It was kind of like in its infancy for console gaming, but it was still something that people would have loved to see because the GameCube did have an online adapter. Like, you could play games online. However, Nintendo had no structure for online within, you know, within their own company. All they had was an adapter. And, like, if you wanted to do online, you had to set everything up yourself. So, like, we had Phantasy Star Online, we had that, and then there might have been, like, another 1 or 2 games, but there really wasn't much online for the GameCube at all. It was pretty much an offline device. So, that was unfortunate. Let's see here. It's the guy from yesterday because you told him to put some time in the gym and he went to bed mad about it. Came back today with the sock account. Man, that's crazy. I don't know. I mean, if you get into a situation with somebody online, like a stream or whatever, do you like really come? Anyway, whatever. All right, it's all good. Shout outs. Thanks, Clabby. I appreciate that. Yo, what's up, Ashley? Welcome. What's up, Katana Riku? Clean up the chat. You mean the Creation Club? I wish they had put that in. I can understand now and got to iron out those glitches and bug stuff. Yeah, they did something. I forgot what it was. Maybe we'll watch the trailer, then we can kind of take a look at it and see what they added or whatever, you know. It was something. Let's see here. I just hope we can get DLC soon for Mario Kart World. I don't think there's going to be anything soon. I think by next year, they'll have something substantial. I don't think they're going to do like little drops. I think that when they do DLC, it's going to be substantial, big DLC. So I think we'll probably see something next year for DLC. I don't think they're going to do anything right now or anytime soon. I think it's going to be next year, maybe at a Nintendo Direct. We get an update. They're like, okay, we're dropping some DLC. Like, this is what we're going to do for the DLC. So yeah. That's like the open world aspect of Mario Kart World. As phenomenal as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is, I was ready for a change. And half the course of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe from the DLC were lower quality. Mario Kart World was all top shelf. Yeah. Like I said, they just gotta iron out some structural changes too with the game, and once again, they're gonna update it over the course of a whole generation. So I'm not really too worried about it. From what I played, I thought it was really good, especially like how it controls, like how it plays itself is incredible. Definitely better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in terms of like just like the controls, the gameplay itself, the physics, all that stuff is really good. We got mouse mode for Skyrim Anniversary Switch 2 Edition. Yeah, shout outs to mouse mode for Skyrim. Yeah, I saw the trailer, so we'll go over it, Casual Noob. At this point, Skyrim is basically a live service game with the amount of modders and feeding into the paid creations. Eventually, they can make another Anniversary Edition with all the new stuff released now. Okay. Yeah, like, I know that there's a lot of stuff for it. I don't really keep up with Skyrim, you know, just because I don't feel like it. Skyrim Switch 2 trailer. We're gonna take a look at it, though. Let's take a look at it. Bethesda, they put a Santa Claus in there? What, yo, what is this? What is this? What's it called? What is this? Is this? They said, they put Santa Claus in here? Look at the reveal trailer. Yo, Santa Claus? Okay. Let's take a look. What?
Deleting. Deleted.
Was that the list?
No. You deleted the list? We need replacements. Oh.
Yo, look at what it said for those who missed it. Look at what it said. This is Party Man when nobody looking. The Lusty Argonian Maid, Volume 1. Alright, that's pretty hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
Deleting.
Oh God.
Deleted.
Was that the list?
No. You deleted the list? We need replacements. A whole sleigh load of them.
A bidet.
Cheese wheels.
A fuzzy little demon toy that sticks to your belt.
Mayrune's razor.
Venus flytrap.
Like a pile of salt. Like a pile of it. I need some real ideas here. Lord Armor. Would you mind just repeating that for me one more time, please?
No.
I have an idea. Why don't we give everyone Skyrim? For Nintendo Switch 2?
You son of a cup of cocoa. You just saved Christmas!
Oh my god.
Let's get to work.
I think that commercial's better than the game. Alright, so yeah, here we go. Okay, so yeah, hundreds of unique creation club items. That's what I was talking about. So the official expansions plus quests, weapons, armor, spells, dungeons. So there is like the mod stuff. Now I don't think you can like create your own, but they did like maybe like some of the best ones were added in and put on this, which weren't available before, I think, on the Nintendo Switch at all. So yeah, this is a boatload of content. Now, this is where things get a little bit tricky. It's not available, but it says owners of the Anniversary Edition on Switch can upgrade to the Switch 2 Edition for free. So I don't think the original version, like if you have a physical cartridge, I don't think that one counts as the Anniversary Edition, if I'm not correct. Let me see. Let me take a look. I don't think it does. The Elder Scrolls. Here we go. Yeah, I don't think it does. I have the original. I have the original one, but it doesn't say Anniversary Edition. It just says includes Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn. So it does include these three. This one that I have. So if you have this one, it includes these. But I don't think it includes all of this. It does include this. But I don't think it includes this. So I don't think this is the Anniversary Edition. If I'm not correct, I don't think it is. There's nothing in here that says that maybe it is the Anniversary Edition. But let me know. Let me know if that's it. So I bought this. I still have my receipt. It was, let's see here. I went to GameStop. I bought it on November 17th, 2017 at 10 o'clock, 10:05 to be exact. And I bought it, it was $59.99. And then I traded in something. It says Video Game Bundle 1. I don't know what that was or what I did or whatever. But I did, oh no! Sorry, it was at Best Buy. Sorry, it was at Best Buy. Oh, it was the Gamers Club. That's what it was. It was the Best Buy Gamers Club. Back when they used to give you like 20 or 30, I think it was like 20% off new video games. Like you paid a yearly fee and it was essentially like Game Pass. Not Game Pass, sorry. It was essentially just like a fat discount for physical games. And that was the Best Buy Gamers Club. That was the best discount program ever because it gave you like 20% off, so you saved $12 pretty much on every single new release, or maybe a bit more. But yeah, Best Buy Gamers Club. So it only cost me $51 for the game. So yeah, man, that was awesome, dude. That was awesome. I love that. And you got like points that also could give you extra rewards and all of that. So yeah, I bought it back then. It's essentially new, and I think this one's cool because it comes pretty much all on cart, you know. So it's not like you have to download something extra. It comes on cart, so interesting. But yeah, that's what happened here. That's what happened with this game. So if you guys want to check it out, you can definitely check out the Anniversary Edition. It's looking pretty good. Hey, what's up, Gloria? Welcome. What's up, Drew Arco? Welcome to the stream. Shout outs to Drew Arco. I don't care about Skyrim, but this ad is a great ad. Yeah, it was a really good ad. But Bethesda put that one out. I didn't see it. I saw a what's it called? I saw a what's it called? I saw a trailer, but it didn't have that Santa Claus stuff in there as well. So yeah. I mean, Skyrim's been ported like a bazillion times at this point, you know, so yeah. All right. Let's take a look here. Let's go back to this. So there you go. There's the Skyrim Switch 2. Maybe is there a separate trailer that I saw? Like I said, the trailer that I saw did not have all that. So yeah, this is the trailer that I saw. I saw this trailer, which was just the gameplay trailer. Yeah, here we go. So here's the. I didn't see that one before. Bethesda put out a little nice, funny one too. Huge content dump with upgrades for 20. Okay, yeah. Decades. A decade of content. You can buy the upgrade on Switch 1 Anniversary Edition for 20, then get the Switch Edition for free. I mean, yeah, so just basically $20. It's not actually free. I think I saw a Switch Up said, take note, Nintendo. I'm like, wait a minute. This isn't actually free. You gotta buy the Anniversary Edition that comes with the content, and then they let you play it on Switch 2. So, I have the game. I don't get this upgrade for free. I gotta buy the $20 one, even though, so it's not really a... I mean, it is and it isn't, you know? Because I'm not getting it for free. So yeah, whatever. It's a lot of content, though. Yeah, it probably plays a lot better. Still not free. Yeah, and it's 30, like we talked about, it's 30 FPS as well. So I mean, like, I don't agree with that decision. I think they should have made a performance and graphics modes. I think they should have done both, but you know, whatever. I rocked Best Buy's Gamers Club for 5 straight years and built my physical collection off that. Probably ended the program on an account of me buying 600 games through it. Yeah, I bought over the years, I probably bought 100+ games from the Best Buy. I bought pretty much every Switch 1 game that came out. I bought it. Like, my whole collection. I have like maybe 200 physical Switch 1 games, and for a portion of those, it was all through Best Buy Gamers Club. And also Xbox One and PS4. I bought all of mine through there. All the discounts, anything that came out, it was always through Best Buy. That's what ended my GameStop reign, you know? Like, when I just stopped going to GameStop was because of Best Buy. That's what ended it, you know? So yeah. Decades worth of content and mods don't make Skyrim less boring, in my opinion. It's one of those, like, immersive games. You got to be, like, really into it. Like, I remember back in 2011, I played the game. I rented it first, then I bought it later. And I remember playing it and thinking that it was pretty good, you know, at that time. Justin with another 3. Let's go.
No offense to Switch Up, but I had to unsubscribe to them. They are getting kinda whiny. Lol.
No shots to Switch Up. He's a great content creator. But yeah, I mean, like, it's not really a free upgrade. Like I said, it is and it isn't, because the reason why I say it is a free upgrade is because, yes, if you already purchased the $20 update, then yeah, it's free for you, but it's not free for everyone. It's only free for some. If you purchase the $20 upgrade already, it's free. So there's nothing for Nintendo to really take note of, because you have to pay to access that. If you don't have the $20 upgrade or the $20 content dump, then it's not free. Like, for me, it's not free. So I get it. But I mean, yes, I do want Nintendo to obviously do free upgrades and stuff like that. Just like, you know, they've done with some, but they don't do that with everything. But yeah, that's not a free update. That's not really a free update. You've got to have the Anniversary Edition, which is paid. So everybody that has Skyrim doesn't. So that's not a free update. It's not like a real free update. It's kind of like a partial free update. A free update is like when you have the base game and you get it. That's a free update. Like, if you have the base game, no matter what version, that's a real free update. This is like partial, you know. Shout outs to Ice CP with the $5 dono. Says, what up? I was on PlayAsia last night. Are selling 64 gigabytes of Octopath Zero, or are they just hiding the game behind a keycard banner? 64 gigabyte of Octopath Zero? I don't recall Octopath Zero having like a real physical on Switch 2, so I'm not sure if that's correct or not, Ice. So I'd have to double check on that one. Also, Geek to Sneak, thank you for the 28 months, man. I appreciate that. Shout outs to Geek to Sneak. We got a couple different changes up top of the board here. Justin extends the lead to 6. Then, of course, my man ICP03. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Biggest singular dono of the stream. Anybody does that, you can tie him up or pass him up with the 5. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Somebody double check on that for me with the whole play Asia situation. I did not see that. Combo breaks. Shout outs to Geek to Sneak too. It's cool. You're physical for Skyrim. Oh yeah, it's cool. Like I played it. I thought it was okay, but like I'm just done with Skyrim. Like I don't care about Skyrim anymore. You know, I've just played it way too much. They're really saying that that for Bethesda on PS5 and Xbox, some of the mods which aren't a part of the creation stuff is bad and good. Some people try selling you the cheat code stuff on Skyrim for $5. Yeah, I would never buy off some like content from people for money. That's just silly. They need to port Oblivion to Switch too. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I wouldn't play it, but that'd be cool for sure. You hear about Jacob R getting banned from GameStop's online store? Crazy. I don't know who Jacob R is. I did see that video pop up, but I have no idea who he was. Like it popped up on like my sidebar. I don't know who he is, and I didn't click. So if you want to tell me what happened, let me know in the chat, and I'll react to it. But I have no idea who he is or why he'd get banned, so it didn't interest me. Let's see here. Dane says it's a cart on Switch 1, not Switch 2. Switch 2 is just an update. It's just an update. It's not an actual physical version. Oh, you're talking about Octopath. Okay, it's on cart for Switch 1. Yeah. For Switch 1 it's on cart, but for Switch 2 it's a game key card. So I think ICP, I'm not sure what he saw. Let's see. Nice to see Rogue Prince of Persia make its way to Switch 2. I was hoping for a cross save because I started on P5. Or PS5, would have loved to have the save on handheld. I think it's Ubisoft, right? There's no cross save on that one. Straight Switch 2 edition of the game Anniversary Edition is a sale introductory as a $20 eShop. That's pretty generous. I feel PlayerEssence, so you've never bought the game, you can still get it. Yeah, I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not bad. I'm just saying that it's not a free update for everyone with Skyrim. You have to have the Anniversary Edition, which is paid. That's all I was saying. Like, I'm not saying that it's not a good deal. What I'm saying is that it's not a free update for everybody with Skyrim. You have to have a specific version of Skyrim that you pay for. You see what I'm saying? Like that you gotta pay for the Anniversary Edition, or you've gotta pay for that, or pay for the upgrade, or have the Anniversary Edition, and then you can get it. I bought this. It's not a free upgrade for me, so that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's not free for everybody who has Skyrim. A lot of people just have this. They don't have the Anniversary thing, okay? So if you want that update, you gotta buy the $20 and then get the upgrade. So it's essentially it's almost the same thing as what's it called, as like a Kirby. Like you pay the $20, you get your thing. If you already have the game, you pay the $20, you get your thing. Now once again, if you already paid that, then you don't got to pay anything else, but you already paid for the Anniversary Edition, so you already paid extra for it. So that's all I was saying. I'm not saying that it's not a good deal or that it doesn't have a lot of content or people can't. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's not a free upgrade for everybody, which it's literally factually not. You've got to buy the Anniversary Edition, and then it's free, you know, and then it's free. So, yeah. And like I said, there's a lot of people who have just this. Like, this game sold really well, you know, just Skyrim by itself on Switch 1. So, that's all I was saying. Jacob R would definitely refurbish consoles from GameStop and review them, and most of the time the consoles were in poor condition. Okay, is that what he did? That's why he got banned? Because they got tired of seeing him review their consoles being trash. Octopath Zero's on a game key card. I have a physical copy. Yeah. Metroid Prime 4 really separated the wheat from the chaff. I learned 2 of my usual reviewers could no longer be trusted, as I'm having phenomenal time, but I discovered 2 new ones in their place. At this point, Jackson, you've played so many games, bro. You should just have gamer eye, man. Like, you should just be able to look at the game and just say whether you'll be able to play it or not. Although I think you don't really look at those reviews to depend on what to buy anyway. I don't think you do, but like if you're somebody that's like old and you've been playing games for like 20 years, 30 years, I mean, you don't even really need reviewers at this point, you know? So yeah. But I mean, I see what you're saying though. Like some of them that you usually trust were like not trustworthy with this one, and then you found new people that are good, you know, when it comes down to it. So yeah. Switch Up spoiled a late mission in Prime 4 in their review, had to unsub from them too, not acceptable. Yeah, sometimes that's what you run the risk of. If you watch reviews, you run the risk of getting spoiled. I like Switch Up, but I don't watch their reviews. I do watch their technical breakdowns of some things, and I do look at that. But yeah, I don't watch anybody's reviews because they're going to spoil stuff. It's not just Switch Up. Most people will spoil stuff for you in reviews if you watch them, so I suggest not watching reviews, unless it's my reviews. My reviews never spoil anything, but most people's reviews will spoil things, like a good portion of them will spoil. Angry Joe spoils the whole game, so you gotta be careful. Like, I only watch his reviews when it's something that I have no interest in playing whatsoever, because he will spoil every single thing about the game, you know. So yeah. Jake, hope you have a great day. Today hasn't been a good day for me at work. Hopefully you're streaming some games will help me forget about that day. Yeah, it's all good, 91 Gamer Boy. The day's over. Just forget it and then go to work. The next time that you go to work with renewed passion. Whatever happened in the past is in the past. Don't think about it. That's one thing that I realized when I was working, you know, day job. Even at my job here, man, there's times when I have a bad day too. I have a bad day at the office as well, man. Like if a video isn't doing well, or if, you know, people are giving me a hard time on some things, and like I kind of lash out a little bit or whatever. Like, we've all had bad days, but what I do, even as the job that I do now, and I just say, hey, look, that was yesterday. Here's the next day, you know? So that's what I do. Is Octopath Zero good? Yeah, it's pretty good. My bad. I have to disclose I work for Bethesda. By the way, it's all good. Casual dude. I know what you meant, my man. I know what you meant. I know what you were trying to say. For me, I just know the games I will enjoy without reviews. Exactly. Like, I know the games that I'm going to enjoy without reviews. And even if the reviews come out and they're bad and maybe I won't enjoy it, I know I won't enjoy it, I might still get it anyway, just in case, you know. If I see a few different things that I'm willing to compromise on. Or I just might wait for a discount. So, like, for me, I don't even ever really use reviews at all. Like, I don't recall the last time, ever since that Lost Odyssey situation that I had, I don't even really use reviews. Like, they're cool to talk about, like, and say, hey, here's what the critical perception is, but at the same time, it's like I don't use them for my own purchase decisions. Nah, there's no point. A lot of today's reviewers, here's the problem that I have with today's reviewers. A lot of them play on easy mode or on normal. They don't play on hard difficulties, and I really don't like that. Now, obviously, Metroid Prime 4 doesn't have the hard difficulty mode unlocked, but I think a lot of them probably even played on easy. But like, they don't play on harder difficulty modes. A lot of times they don't play the side content. A lot of times, like I said, they're trying to rush through to get their review out. You know, they're just playing in a way that I don't play myself. So it's hard for me to look at them and then put some, like, you know, and for me to take it super, super seriously. So yeah, so that's the reason why I don't really pay attention too much in terms of my own purchasing decision. Once again, it's good to have a variety of opinions, though. That's why I go over the reviews. You go over a variety of opinions, people who think it's 6, people who think it's 7, people who think it's 8, and you can find out whether it's BS or not, you know, based off of just reading what they have to say or looking at the footage or whatever, you know. So yeah. Shout outs to ICP though, man. I appreciate that. Hopefully you got your answer with that. Shout outs to Justin as well. 4 more combos and we got a 15-minute extension as well. Angry Joe is played out times 1 million. I hardly trust reviews anymore, so I just go based off of what I'm interested in the game, and if I see if it doesn't run like crap or filled with glitches, yeah, exactly. Did you use reviews for Daemon X Machina, Titanic, Scion? No, I actually use my own personal, like, they put out a demo, so you can play it on the Switch and you can see the frame rate. Like, you can see the frame rate on Switch, and then people started talking about that. I'm like, what is this? The game itself is great. But I didn't use reviews because these reviewers, they don't know what, they don't play games. Like, Daemon X Machina is not a game that they're going to be excited about. The game is great though. Like, Daemon X Machina is a great game. Titanic, it's a great game. Titanic Scion. I didn't use it for the first game either. And that game had a few performance issues on Switch 1. But for Switch 2, what I was upset about is that the game was built for Microsoft and Sony. It was built for x86. It was not built for Switch 2. And it was a bait and switch. They used Switch 1 to get their profits and to make their money and for people to buy it and to be excited. Then on Switch 2, it was relegated to, okay, well, maybe we don't have development kits, but we still want to make the game. Or they just started making the game without even knowing what the Switch 2 was going to be, then put together a port at the very end. Like, to me, that's just unacceptable. Unacceptable for me. So that was the reason. It wasn't because of what reviewers said. Reviewers were going to rate that game bad anyways. Like, the game is it's rated the same as the first Daemon X Machina, but it's better than the first Daemon X Machina game. Like, it's way better than the first Daemon X Machina game, but it's rated pretty much the exact same because reviewers don't care. They already bracket certain games into a certain thing. So Daemon X Machina, if you play it on PS5, it is a way better game than Daemon X Machina 1 on the Switch 1, but they have the same score. I think the Switch 1 game is actually maybe rated a little bit better. So no, I didn't use the reviews. If the game ran good, I would have bought it. No problem. It had nothing to do with the reviews. The problem was my gameplay, the frame rate, and then of course other people talking about it as well. The frame rate was not good. It was a bait and switch. So that I didn't use reviews. And another thing is that I don't use the score of the review. I'm looking at the raw gameplay itself. I'm looking at people talking about like the performance of the game. To me, that's not a review. That's just looking at the performance and seeing how the performance is. I didn't watch any reviews on Daemon X. Well, I don't like the way it did. I didn't watch all that. There was no point. They did the same thing with Daemon X Machina 1 on the Switch. Shout outs to Shaw X with the $10 dono, biggest dono of the stream. Hey yo, and he says plus a lot of reviewers suck at playing games, so take the reviews with a grain of salt. Exactly, a lot of reviewers do suck at playing games, so there's no point in me taking their reviews super seriously. Now, once again, it's okay to have good different opinions. That's why I cover the reviews anyway. But just because I cover the reviews doesn't mean I personally look at what they're doing and say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to apply what I buy to what they do. Absolutely not. That's not what I do. I haven't done that in a long time, you know, because there's nobody that I actually trust when it comes to reviews. There's not a single person that I like. There's not a single reviewer that I trust when it comes to reviews. There's not a single one. There's not a single person that I say I trust when it comes to reviews, you know? Like that I say, okay, yeah, I trust 100%. Like no reviewer. I mean, there's certain content creators that I say, okay, I look at their opinion, but that doesn't mean I'm going to make my decision based off of that, you know? Shout outs to Shaw X. Thank you for the big $10 dono. You are now the whole call game streaming on both, and you know what that means. Combo breaker and overclock, baby.
Overclock buster!
15 minutes extension, 9 more combos, boys and girls. We get that 3-0 extension, 30 minutes. Let's go. Shout outs, guys. I appreciate that. They patched gyro aiming at Daemon X Machina, by the way, made it more fun. Yeah, I'm gonna need that frame rate to get to 60 though, or at least 40, or at least locked at 30. Like I need it to be better, because I'm just, like I said, it was a bait and switch. I like the fact that they added gyro, which is good. But it was a bait and switch, Jackson. I don't like that. Casual noob with the $1 dono. Because I realized after Prime 4 reviews... after Prime 4 reviews... I am getting the game. I am not watching any reviews until I'm done with the game. I only watch reviews for games that I'm unsure of. Too much spoiled. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I recommend not watching reviews of games. Like, if you're interested in the game... I don't recommend watching reviews of people who get early copies and stuff like that. Like, I don't recommend watching reviews, you know, like that early. I didn't watch a single Metroid Prime 4 review. I do watch Digital Foundry's technical breakdowns, because those are like technical breakdowns. They're not like, you know, actual real reviews, you know. They just talk about what they like about the game and the technical aspects of it. So I do watch those, because those are usually non-spoiler. They do a good job of not spoiling the game. Like, it's everything from them is like at the beginning of the game. They never spoil the game. So yeah, I'll watch what Digital Foundry has to say about stuff. But yeah, for the most part, I'm not really watching reviews beforehand, because they be spoiling too much stuff, you know? So some reviewers have no business reviewing certain games. It's like movie critics who talk about horror movie in spite of not liking the genre. Maybe. Justin with another 3. Let's go.
What do you think will be the least used feature of the Switch 2 mouse mode, or 120 FPS?
Mouse mode's going to be used way more than 120 FPS. So I'd probably say 120 FPS, because 120 FPS takes a lot of strain on the processor. And when we start getting more graphically advanced games, they're not going to do 120 FPS. Even some of the non-graphically advanced games don't do 120 FPS. It's just much easier to do 60. You don't have to optimize as much when you do like the 120 mode. So yeah, I see 120 FPS being one of the least used features on the Switch too, because once again, just optimization wise, it's not easy to do. And we've already got a number of games that use mouse mode. Like, there's way more games that use mouse mode than games that use, you know, 120 FPS. So yeah, I think mouse mode's going to be somewhat common in a lot of games, like going forward, you know, just like as an option. Metroid Prime has it, you know, Rune Factory has it. There's a number of other games that have it too that I can't think of off the top of my head. Skyrim down has it. So yeah. Rune Factory comes to PS5 next year. I think it's a new one. I like Rune Factory, but I don't know what it's about. I'm surprised that Nintendo Switch 2 is doing very well. I'm surprised that Nintendo Switch 2 is doing. You're surprised that the Switch 2 is doing so well? Why are you surprised? Rune Factory does come to PS5 next year. Yes, it's the one that came out on the Switch 1 and Switch 2 and PC already back at the launch of Switch 2. So it's called Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. I have it. I'm actually looking at it right now, and I have the box. I have the physical copy. It's the newer one, yes. It's like the one that's set in, like, you know, traditional kind of like Japanese, you know, style game, and it's very good. It's very good. I played and beat it. I put 70 hours into it, and it's very good. And it's got post-game content, and it's fun. You know, it's got farming stuff if you want to do that, or you can automate it. So yeah, it's good. It's coming to PS5 and Xbox Series on February, I think 13th, next year. So yeah, for $60, but then there's also like $70 and $80 editions and stuff. So, but yeah, it's a good game. I would just say wait for a discount though. I would not buy that at launch because I don't think that game's gonna sell at all, and I think it's gonna be discounted very quickly on PS5 and Xbox Series. Although PS5, there's only a physical copy for PS5. There's no physical copy for Xbox Series. So there you go. Switch up spoilers in their Prime review. Avoid them. Yeah, there you go. Spoilers. No, there will be no spoilers in my review of Metroid Prime 4. The farthest I'll go is, I think, like, there's a boss. There's some footage that I captured of a boss that's at the beginning of the game, and I think that'll be like the farthest I go. You know, like a few hours into the game, there's a boss battle that I'll probably have a little bit of in my review. But my review's not going to be spoiling the game. It's not going to be cut into a bunch of different angles of different stuff. It's just going to be just a straight up talking about the game, you know, and having some footage playing in the background. So yeah. I think the Switch 2 camera is going to be utilized less by games than 120 FPS. Pretty much any game that supports game chat that technically uses the camera. So, I mean, I guess what you're seeing, like, actual, like, in the game, like Mario Party Jamboree, but camera support is pretty much on a system-wide level right now. So, technically speaking, every game supports the camera, technically speaking. But yeah, I mean, like the actual in-game camera, like where you see your face in camera, I mean, yeah, that's gonna be, there's not gonna be a ton of games that support that. But I mean, every game has game chat support though, you know, or, you know, game chat to where you can have like the video and all that, which, like I said, it's built in from the OS level, but developers have to account for it with RAM, you know, so. Music in Metroid Prime 4 is incredible. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma is way better than the disaster called Rune Factory 5. Oh yeah, it's way better. Rune Factory 5 wasn't even on my radar. Like, I didn't even really pay attention, but Guardians of Azuma, I was like, okay, this looks pretty good. Looks like the combat has been refined a bit. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. I think it's like a good, you know, 7 out of 10 type of game. It's fun. And I think it'll probably run perfect, probably like 4K 60 on PS5. Although it looks, once again, identical pretty much in the screenshots, but the resolution will probably be a bit sharper. The frame rate will probably be cleaned up in some areas where the frame rate was a little sketchy. The game mostly ran at 60 FPS though on Switch 2, but you can tell that, like, definitely Switch 1 code maybe kind of patched up, try to get it on Switch 2. They definitely had a few things, because that game should have ran locked at 60 FPS on Switch 2. There's no reason for there to be any frame rate dips at all at any point in that game, you know? So yeah. Let's see here. Camera is more for game chat. Like when I do game chat with my brother. Yeah, exactly. They straight up spoiled one of the very last missions. Oh man, that's rough. They spoiled one of the very last missions of Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So I'm glad I didn't watch the review, because like I'm taking it all in like as I go. The more I play the game, the more that I like disagree with like the reviews of the game, you know, and people saying stuff. But once again, it's good to have a lot of different opinions though, which is good, you know. So So yeah. PC gamers have been constantly going on about Viola Amiibo, but today I learned the Steam paywall's bigger friend list from you. The initial limit is less than the Switch friend limit. I don't know anything about that. I don't have any friends on Steam because I don't want to be anybody's friend. So I only have like Misclick, Dreamcast guy, and like a couple other people on my friends list. I have no desire to be friends with people on PC or Steam. So yeah. Like, it was even if it was my own brother, I don't even have him. He has Steam. I don't even have him as a friend. He said, can you add me? I'm like, nope, not adding you. He's like, oh, that's messed up. I'm your brother. And I'm like, so? I'm like, so what? I got you as a friend on my Switch too. On my Switch, that's fine. You're my brother. I love you, but I don't like anybody on PC. So I'm not adding you. No, I'm joking. That never happened, guys. I mean, I think he does have Steam, but that conversation never happened. That conversation never happened. But no, I don't add anybody on Steam. I don't know anything about it. So, let's see here. If you buy a single game, they remove the paywall. It's not a big deal. Okay, sure, it's not a big deal. Will you add people from the NEX box? Dude, I saw that at Walmart. I finally saw that at Walmart. It's right next to the Switch One, and like they had a couple boxes left of that NEX thing. Maybe I'll pick that up one of these days. You know, maybe I'll pick that up. But I mean, $250 for that thing, and you know, no controllers, just a projector. I could connect camera cube thingy. So interesting for sure. So yeah. Man, the whole Amiibo controversy was BS. Soul Valley already has music and playing themes from other zones can be obtained to unlock the game. There's literally nothing controversial. Yeah, at this point, I don't care, man. We went over this way too long. So at this point, it's like whatever. If you don't like it, then obviously don't buy the game, don't play it, or just be mad, be angry. Or if you're there, you have a problem, whatever. At this point, it's been like how many days now? So we went back and forth with this one. It's ridiculous. I don't really care. I have the Amiibo, so it's like whatever at this point, you know. Let's see here. Let's see here. Epic Lobster. Felipe, you don't have the game. You're not playing, so don't worry about it, man. You ain't playing the game. It doesn't matter. You said that it's not interesting from the very beginning, so it doesn't matter, Felipe, at this point. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter for you. You're not playing. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, Epic Lobster? Welcome to the stream. Metroid 4 was a good game and showed off what the Switch 2 is capable of. Metroid Prime 4. Good game. I mean, it just gave us, like, we already knew what it was capable of because we have Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws already showed what it's capable of, you know? And so did, you know, we have other games that have came out. Obviously, Assassin's Creed Shadows just came out, you know, and that's going to get further updated. So we've already got a few different games. Now, from a first-party standpoint, yeah, like Nintendo, this is probably Nintendo's best-looking first-party game, you know, when it comes down to that. But Donkey Kong Bonanza looked great, and Mario Kart World looked good. But yeah, this one's really good. So yeah. Now, you don't need to correct anybody, Felipe, because you're one of the you don't need to correct anybody. You of all people definitely don't need to correct anybody. You're not playing and you don't care, so don't worry about it. We still don't even know exactly what's, because we got mixed reports on that, so we still don't even know. So that's what I'm saying. Let's just wait. And you're not playing the game. You're not buying it. You're not playing it, so it doesn't matter for you. That's all. That's all I was trying to say. But yes, I wish I had it in there. Just to, like, I wish I had it in there from the beginning. But I have the Amiibo, so it's, at this point, I don't even care. Let's see. Resident Evil Requiem will truly show us what Switch 2 is capable of. I don't think Resident Evil Requiem will truly show us what it's capable of. I think Star Wars Outlaws already did a pretty good job. I think we know what it's capable of now. Between Metroid, between Star Wars Outlaws, between Assassin's Creed Shadows, between Donkey Kong, between Mario Kart, like all these games have kind of showed us what you can expect or what you can get, you know? Because Star Wars Outlaws is one of the most graphically intense and best looking games on Xbox Series and PS5. It just is. And it runs at 60 FPS on those platforms and looks really good. One of the most advanced games, which Digital Foundry went over back in 2024. So we got that game running at a level in terms of looks and frame rate better than the Xbox Series S. 30 frames locked, pretty much no dips or very little. That is pretty much as good as it's probably going to get. I don't see it getting much better than that. So I do think that Star Wars Outlaws has already proved everything that what the Switch 2 can do. Now, from an artistic standpoint and from a Nintendo first party standpoint, I think that there's still room for them to make it, you know, for things to get better. Metroid Prime 4 was just the first start of that. I think that going forward, we're going to see other stuff as well. So yeah, I think that Star Wars Outlaws already showed us from a third party standpoint what can be done, you know? See, guys, enough. There's no enough with the whole Metroid thing. I mean, like, guys, listen. Let's just say it's there, okay? Let's just say it's there and it's bad, okay? It's there and it's bad and it's not a good thing. And just drop it, all right, guys? Felipe, just drop it. It's there and it's bad and none of us like it. They should have just had it there from the beginning. That ends it all. Let's stop worrying about it. It is what it is. So we're not gonna have this thing all like we already went through this, guys. We already went through this. So Felipe, we're gonna put you on a timeout for 10 minutes. All right. So come back with something else to complain about. Okay. Just 10 minutes. Everybody else talking to him. Y'all chill. Listen, they shouldn't have done it in the first place, so we don't have this back and forth of people saying it is and it is and it is and it isn't. Whatever. It should have just not been there. So we can all agree upon it should have just been there, and maybe it was, I don't know, you use the amiibo and you unlock more tracks. That's what it should have been. All right, so just drop it now, guys. It's not, shouldn't have been there. It's not good. Move on. All right, Felipe, you're not getting the game, so don't worry about it. And for those who have the amiibo or who have the game, it's not a good thing that they had it there, and hopefully they don't do that anymore after this controversy or whatever. Boom. Finished. Done. All right? There's nothing else to say on this. Just move on. We've been going on about this for like 4 days now. Like, enough is enough. All right? Cool. Let's see. I should have timed them out for 5 minutes, not 10. My bad, Felipe. Let's see. Have you seen the ZA trailer for tomorrow? No, I haven't seen it yet. I'll check it out, though. We already have it. Like, we have already had it for like 4 or 5 days. We've already talked about it since like Thursday or like last week. So it's been going on now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So it's like, it's not good. They shouldn't have done it. We can all agree that they shouldn't have. Next time, hopefully they don't. And that's that. So, you know, there you go. That's it. We can move on now. Let's see here. I want to pick up Assassin's Creed Shadows and Star Wars Outlaws. I waited on getting them until I was ready on the PS5, but I'm glad because I have access to PS5 now. I do access to Switch. Okay, sounds good. Want to play Metroid 4 so bad, but I gotta finish ZA. Yeah, I had to try to get through ZA before Hyrule Warriors came out, and then I think Hyrule Warriors came out and I wasn't finished with ZA, so then I finally got finished with ZA, and then I got into Hyrule Warriors. So then I've been playing Hyrule Warriors, and every time I think that I'm done, a new mission unlocks. Hyrule Warriors, I'm like 50 something hours in. I'm probably about 70 to 80% done with the game. But every time I do one side mission, another one pops up. Every time I do one upgrade for someone, another one pops up. It like never ends. I'm like 50 something hours plus in. So yeah. So I'm right now, I'm playing Metroid Prime 4 and I'm playing Hyrule Warriors. So what I do is that whenever I'm just like, you know, chilling and I'm playing portable mode, I'll play Hyrule Warriors. Whenever I have time to actually play like at night on the TV, on my OLED, I'll play Metroid Prime 4 because Metroid Prime 4 plays so much better with HDR on the TV at 1080p, 120 FPS than it does as a portable game with that screen. So I try to use Metroid Prime as like my big console game, and then I'll use Hyrule Warriors as the portable game because portable wise, you know, it's better docked in terms of, you know, in the most intensive parts of Hyrule Warriors, but it's still pretty good for the most part, you know, just portable. So, but it's definitely better docked though, definitely better docked. But yeah, that's why I went and finished Age of Imprisonment. Yeah, I'm trying, man. I tried. It wasn't like I wasn't playing Age of Imprisonment either. I was playing it a lot.
Warrior games never end. That's why it's in my backlog.
Yeah,
Wow.
Warriors games never end. They never do end. So, but it's good content though. It's really fun. It's fun, short excursion missions and stuff like that. So, so yeah. Let's see. He says, wait, there's also a lot to say about Metroid Prime stuff. It really shows how greedy Nintendo is and how greed ruined their other games. Imagine having to pay for Amiibo for Smash Bros. Music. I mean, you don't have to pay for music in the game overall, Dr. Wolfstar. So it's not like you have to pay to get a bunch of tracks and stuff like that. Smash Brothers has all sorts of microtransactions and all sorts of little amiibo transactions and all sorts of different things that you can do already overall. So, I mean, Smash Brothers is a bad game to use as an example, as it already has a bunch of little amiibo things that you can do, microtransaction things that you can do, and all sorts of stuff like that. So I think that's a bad example. Maybe you might want to use something else, because Smash Brothers has all sorts of extra DLC and content and extra things that if you have amiibo, or if you want to buy DLC or other little things, you do that there. So all companies are going to be greedy. They're all going to do different things to nickel and dime. Yeah, and I don't like it either in terms of it. So there's not any weight. There's a lot more. They're just as greedy as any other company when it comes down to it. I have the amiibo for Metroid Prime, and I don't know why I'm doing this again, because I guess I'll do it one more time for you, Dr. Wolfstar. I have the amiibo for it. I don't think it really adds anything crazy to the game or not, but all these companies do all sorts of things in terms of greed to get more money out of it. So, for example, there is a deluxe edition of Ghost of Yotei, and if you want that edition of the game, you're gonna have to spend an extra $10 to get all the little things that they do there. So they all do little things here and there in terms of that. So it's one of those things where if you don't like it, obviously you don't have to buy it. But try to say it's greed, like the whole Twitter, or not Twitter, the whole YouTuber greed, that applies to every single company. Every single one. You know what I'm saying? Every single one. No if Nintendo's ruined by greed, so is Microsoft, so is Sony, so is every single company out there. You know, so there's no point in sitting there and going on about it for 10 years. We already said, hey, look, they shouldn't have done it. None of us like that. We don't want to see that going forward, but there's no reason to sit there and argue about it now into day 4, day 5, day 6. You know, that's all I was saying. So that's it, Dr. Wolfstar. That's it. Let's see here. What's up, Gaming Manor? Welcome. And like I said, we don't need to go back and forth. Like we already said, look, we can all agree that they probably shouldn't have done that. We don't like that, and hopefully they don't do that. But we're not going to sit here and argue about it 24/7. We already did. That's already a thing that we already discussed. There's no point in sitting here and arguing over and over and over and over. Just like we don't sit here and argue over and over and over about Microsoft's decisions when it comes to raising the console prices. I don't sit here and argue over and over about Ghost of Yotei charging extra for their deluxe edition. I don't do that. We talked about it when it came out. We discussed it already. Then we move on from there. But we're not going to start putting it into they're just greedy and rage on for 15 days like Twitter does. We're not going to do that. That's not the type of stream that we do here, and we don't do that with anybody. We point it out a day or two, 3 days max, but we're not going to go on 4, 5, 6 days. If you don't like it, don't buy it, move on. That's it. That's all you got to do. But we're not going to turn it into some type of thing to where you're going to be angry and start spewing it all stream. That's ridiculous. We don't do that for any company. So just move on, you know? Anyway, there we go. I just want to end it so he can be okay. Hopefully you're happy or you're satisfied with that answer, okay, Doctor? So you don't get upset all stream about it. All right. Wait, maybe it's the excitement I missed that up, but Switch 2 console past 15 million on hardware sales. Yeah, Nintendo Prime and Paul Gale Network are both reporting that Switch 2 is past 15 million over the Black Friday holiday. So yeah. We are not, we're not Twitter. We're not going to be railing on this for 15 years, you know? Star Wars Outlaws does look good, but I think Capcom will show us what fully optimized game can look like on Switch 2 with Requiem. Well, we'll see about that. We will see. Star Wars, you gotta remember, Star Wars Outlaws is an open world game. Resident Evil Requiem is not. So you also have to factor that in too, Mecha Ridley. So yeah. What to expect to God of War appear at the Game Awards? I'm not expecting any God of War, but that'd be really cool if they did have God of War appear at the Game Awards. It would be pretty cool. I would like that. Excuse me. I think, Justin, you're the Hokage too. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 12. Thank you so much, Justin. Thank you for the 12 as well. Appreciate that, fam. Thank you so much for the 12. You are now, once again, the Hokage. Anybody does 12 more, you can beat up my man, Justin, at the top of the board. Shaw X still at the top with the 10 as well. 2 combos away from a 30-minute extension. And what's up, Mr. 9K? Appreciate you, fam. What's up, 777AZ, Double OG? What is good? I played some Metroid yesterday in TV mode, and it ran smooth as butter. Gameplay is so good. The entire and the enemies were just aggravating as Metroid Dread should be. I don't know. The enemies are the most annoying, but yeah, the enemies were good. Their enemies are really good in Metroid Prime 4. Yo, Dane with the $1 dono coming in as well. What's up, Dane? Thank you for the $1. Let me get what you have to say here, though. Let's see here. I did the same thing, trying to clear all the side missions in Hyrule Warriors, and I could be wrong, but I think some of those side missions are reoccurring. After you finish one, another pops up. After I did one of the main missions, they only have a few left. No, they're not. No. Warriors games, whenever you complete a mission, it'll tell you that they're complete. They're not just gonna repop back up. No, because you can replay any mission anyway, so they don't do that. If you've already played the mission, it's gonna become blue. It's gonna be yellow and flashing when you haven't done it, but then once you beat it, you beat it. They don't reoccur, like repopulate. It doesn't work that way. No. At least that's not how any Warriors game that I've played works, so I don't think so. Let's see here. I have not played Octopath Traveler 0, not yet, because I'm still playing Hyrule Warriors. I'm still playing Metroid Prime 4, so I don't have time for Octopath Traveler 0 right now. The PS5 ran 100 to 150 Blitzkrieg sales to get their numbers up. The price matters, so the sales spiked. Nintendo Switch 2 has been top all quarter. Oh, I think Party Man was talking about something else. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, every company. I mean, did we sit here and talk about the PS5 raising the console price for days? No, we didn't. Did we talk about the Xbox? No, we didn't. Did we talk about all that? Did we sit there and talk about that when the PS5 raised the price from 60 to 70? No, we didn't. We talked about it when it was relevant for that time, a day, maybe two, and then we moved on. So, I mean, I know people come here saying, oh, well, you're being hypocritical, or, oh, you're not going to talk about it more. No, I'm angry. It's like, come on, guys. We already talked about it. We already discussed it. We already went over it. There's nothing else to say. Like I said, people just want Twitter cesspools where you just sit there and be angry forever, like, and never not get angry. And, like, that's like part of your identity. That's what, like, people on Twitter do. That's what people on, you know, the grifter channels do. They just want you to, they want to farm your anger forever, for the end of time, because that's how they make money. Or because they're just negative people. So we're not going to do that, guys. Listen, if you don't like it, don't buy it. You can be upset. Just move on. Put that money towards something that you like. And that's all you got to do as an adult. That's all you got to do. You don't got to sit there and rail on it for 10 years and be angry and just rile yourself up about something. Don't worry about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just relax. Just like we did with all the other stuff that happens. We do the same thing. I didn't get all raged up and riled up about Ghost of Yotei charging 10 extra for little things here and there. I don't do that. It's like, okay, they did that. I set it for one day, a day or two, and that was that, you know? They're all greedy. All the companies are. Casual Noob with another $1 says combo break. Xenoblade music. Yes, sir. Shout outs. Xenoblade music. Let's go. Let's see here. Are you talking about those regain territory missions? I'm talking about all the missions in the game, Dane. None of them repopulate. They all make it to where there's one mission that you do. Once you beat it, they're done. And that's that. And you can just replay it. But they don't just constantly repopulate forever. And shout outs to J Views with the $20 dono. Shout outs to J Views. We hit the double combo break here. Let's see here. I was asking about the people that were getting the PS5 outsold Switch 2 from. Oh, okay, yeah. That was for the Black Friday week, which that's fine. They dropped the price by $100. So, of course, you're going to get a spike in sales. And PS5 is good. Like, PS5 is a good system. Plus, you also look at the Nintendo Switch 1. The PS4 outsold it multiple times in the first year. I think even the second year when they did, like, Black Friday sales and stuff. So, marathon, not a sprint. But even if it did outsell, Switch 2 is still selling really good. So, it doesn't really matter. Guys, let me tell you something right now. It doesn't matter if the Switch 2 doesn't sell more than the PS5. All that matters is the Switch 2 does good enough. That's all that matters. Like, it doesn't have to outsell the PS5. Just like the Wii didn't outsell the PS2. Or the Super Nintendo didn't outsell, I don't know, certain other systems out there, or like it doesn't have to sell better. Who cares? That's console war nonsense. We don't care about that. I don't care about it selling better. All I care about is it selling good, so developers support it. It doesn't matter if it sells better than PS5. It doesn't have to. It's irrelevant. You know, that is irrelevant because we don't work for Nintendo. We don't look at those profits. We don't get any of that. So I don't care. All I care about is it selling good enough so developers support it, so then I have things to talk about, so then we can have things to play and discuss. And so things can keep it moving here, you know? That's all I care about. I don't care about it outselling, other systems. Who cares? It just needs to sell good. Like, if it didn't outsell Switch 1, I don't care. As long as it sells good enough to where developers support it, that's all I care about. And that's all anybody should care about if you are a consumer, if you're a gamer. Now, if you work for Nintendo, maybe that's stuff that they can worry about, but I don't work for them. None of us do. except for that uncle that works at Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? So we don't got to worry about that at all. So that's irrelevant to me. Let's just shout out to Jay Bustos. Forgive me, OJ. I know you don't engage people like that, but when they start to blatantly lie and spread misinformation because they are mad and want to spread their anger to everyone else, I'm not going to stand for it. I feel you on that one, brother. Like, and I've done that too. I'm not even going to sit here and act like I haven't responded to people that are spreading misinformation too. I feel you on that one. But I think the best thing to do going forward is to simply just say like, okay, look, here's what it is. Here's the breakdown. Here's what's right. Here's what's wrong. We can all agree that like this is probably, it would have been better if it was this. And then we just move on. And that's it. Like, we don't got to do back and forths over and over. I know some people like to come here and argue. There was a guy that came in here earlier, wanted to argue with me, just wanted to say stuff, like, you know, just trolling. And like I said, yeah, for that, then I get it. You know, I get the willingness to kind of go back and forth. But, you know, like I said, man, it's all good. Like, I just didn't want the same thing. Like, I don't mind spirited debate when it's, like, fresh or when it's new or it's, like, when we haven't talked about it. But, I mean, if it's something that we've already talked about and already debated and discussed for days now, like, there's no need to keep on going back and forth, you know? But I feel you on that one, J-Views. You are now the Hokage and Stream Ninja. And let's hit it with the overclock, baby.
Overclock Buster!
Yeah. Engage the enemy. Shout outs to Casual Noob and J-Views getting us to 50. 10 more combos, boys and girls. Just 10. And we've got the 1 hour extension. Let's go. 20 million top selling game for Nintendo Switch 2. My guess by the end of 2026. 20 million top selling game. You mean 20 million Switch 2 sold by 2026? Yeah, they'll have more than 20 million. I mean, if they're at 15 million now, they're going to sell another 5 million from now until the end of next year. Oh yeah. The end of 2026? Oh yeah, they're going to sell another maybe 20, 30. They're going to sell like maybe like another 30 million. Depending on what games come out, they could be at like 40 million or so maybe by the end of next year. 30 something to 40 million. Depending on how much they have and what games. I mean, if they got a new Mario next year, I mean, it's lights out, you know. If they've got like a new Zelda or they got something, it's lights out. They're gonna have something massive, whether it's Animal Crossing, whether it's a new Zelda, whether it's a new, they got Pokemon. They're gonna have Pokemon, and they're gonna have one other massive game for 2026. So yeah, they're gonna definitely sell way more than 20 million, you know. Hey, what's up, Monolith Soft Ninja? What's up, Muck Bro? Just got the power back on at the snow belt. Been having and I've got a bad feeling. No spoilers here. During Black Friday weekend, PS5 had 47%, although the Switch had 20%. Nothing burger. Competition is good. This is another. Yeah, exactly. Competition is good. Before the week of Black Friday, Switch 2 outsold it, you know, so I don't think I even mentioned that in my videos. Like, Switch 2 did better, you know, than it. I think I might have said something. I think Matt Piscatella, I might have said one thing, but it wasn't like a main focus of anything. It's like, they're both going to sell good, like, over the course of the generation, so, yeah. Kind of projected 19 million by the end of March, right? I don't remember. Yeah, I think 19 million. So if they're at 15 million, but, like, probably by the end of November, like, they're at 15 million, so they pretty much got another 4 million to sell between, you know, the rest of November. Because I'm guessing Prime's numbers, there's no way that it's by the end of November. I mean, it might be. I'm not sure how accurate those are, but let's just say it's all of November. So December, January, February, March. So 4 months to sell 4 million systems. I think they can definitely do that. I think they'll probably get, you know, at least another 4 million by then. So yeah. Because they got Mario Tennis coming out early in the year, and the Mario movie is coming out in, I think, when's the Mario movie? March or April? So they're going to get more people buying the system. And then Pocopia is also in March, so that's definitely going to help out, especially in Japan as they kind of ramp up more production. I'd love to see Pragmata on Switch 2. Capcom game looks fun. Yeah, I haven't really looked too much into that game, but it looks pretty cool. If the Dust Bloods issue good, it will be a huge console seller next year. If the Dust Bloods is good, yeah, if that's a good game, I think it can help out for sure. Hit that like button, though, guys. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Like, boom, let's go. Shout outs to J-Views, though, man. I feel you on that one, brother. Like, I feel you. Sometimes you gotta make sure that there's not misinformation out there. I feel you on that one. I feel you. Big love, man. Big love. Thank you for the big 20. Shout outs to the combo break, boys. Let's go. Let's go even further than beyond. 10 combos away. Let's go. Yo, yeah, Diesel. The ghetto prize is right coming through. Almost. 2 questions from my man Yiggity Yak 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 with the big 20. Says 2 questions. One between extended playthroughs of Donkey Kong Bonanza and Metroid Prime 4, which one do you feel is better for your brain? Oh man. Bonanza, DK is your favorite in terms of banana hunting, and why? I'm not done with Metroid Prime 4, but I can honestly say that Metroid Prime 4 at times feels like a more tight experience with a more, I would say, like the gameplay feels, there's just something about Metroid Prime 4 that just feels incredible to play with its like structure and its set that I'm really enjoying. Donkey Kong Bonanza has like a pure fun aspect to it though. Like the controls definitely take a little bit more time to get used to than for me Metroid Prime. There's so many things that are good about both of these games, and it's hard to compare. But Bonanza, man, there's certain level about Bonanza when it comes to the music, Pauline, the characters, that's just so memorable. But let me finish Metroid Prime 4, and then I'll have my answer. In terms of the banana hunting's fun because it's nowhere near as obtuse and stupid as it was in Hunting Moons and Mario. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the banana hunting, and because of the destruction. The destruction was great. I love being able to just smash things to smithereens, and then you can like find bananas, or you can platform challenge and all different type of stuff. So it was good. I love to see how strong DK is, because DK is supposed to be strong. He's such a wimp in the 2D games, which is, I mean, listen, he's always been a wimp in the 2D games, but the Donkey Kong lore is that like Donkey Kong is like the power of like, I don't know, he's like powerful. He's like think of like an ape, like a great freaking silverback ape, how powerful they are. They're like 10 times a human, right? Or something like that. Crazy times power. Donkey Kong's like 10 times, he's like a Super Saiyan ape. So he's like 10 or 20 times more powerful than what we consider a powerful like gorilla or ape or whatever, right? He's like way more powerful than like a standard ape. So like to see him get hit and he goes like, ah! And he goes running off after one hit is insane when you hear the lore behind it. Now he is stupid. That's one thing about Donkey Kong. He is a bit of a moron, but that's his weak point. But he's really strong. And Donkey Kong Bonanza finally gives you that strength that Donkey Kong has that they never really portrayed in the games because he's such a sissy in previous games. At times he can be really strong, like when he punches the people to death and all that, but the genre never fit how strong Donkey Kong actually is until Bonanza. But he shouldn't be 1 or 2 hits and he goes running off scared. I mean, like the original Donkey Kong, 1 hit and he goes running off like a little baby. That is not Donkey Kong. that is not Donkey Kong. You know what I'm saying? So Bonanza was like good. That actually shows like, okay, this guy's like super strong. It's like he can just like tear apart all environments. So that's what I love about it the most, is that it shows Donkey Kong's true strength, you know, and he's not a wimp. Because in the previous games, he's strong, but he's a wimp. You know, he's kind of like a sissy at times. So yeah. Yeah, and then he goes Super Saiyan, you know? Yeah, he's like Hulk, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, he's not supposed to be that weak, you know, where, in other games. He's pretty weak in the other games. All right, so shout outs to Yak This Thing for the 21. Straw Hat Monty with the $5 and says, hey, what up, Snow Hawkthorn? What up, OJ? Finally got the micro SD Express card on Switch so I can buy games digitally and keycard games by extension. Nice, let's go, Straw Hat. Then also, Midori, is it Midoriak? With the 7 Australia says, Aussie, says, hey, my man OJ, what are your top 5 wanted announcements for the TGA sending positive vibes? I don't have any announcements that I want, because I don't want to act like there's going to be something and then it ends up being a nothing burger. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that where it ends up being a nothing burger, you know? So I don't have any announcements, but if I can pick one announcement, Midoriak, I would really like to see like the Dust Bloods, like more information on that, or maybe even like a Monolith Soft. I mean, I would go crazy for a Monolith Soft announcement. I don't think it's gonna happen, but that would be insane. So I don't have any like set announcement. I don't ever think about that because the TGAs never give me. I mean, I'll be lucky if I get 1 or 2 announcements that I love at the TGA. So I haven't thought about 5, but man, you give me a Dust Bloods plus, you know, or maybe even like a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I'll even take Switch 2 editions of previous Switch 1 games. Give me that and I'll be fine. I'll be happy with that, man, you know? So, yo, Glass Turtle, thank you for the 33 months. Hey, yo, appreciate that. Big 33 months. 81 on the board, you guys know. Combo break time and Noah and Mio time as well. Flying through the skies. What about the bike in Prime 4 since it was new to the game, but actually pretty good to control? Yeah, it feels good to control. They definitely could have done some things to help out with the like with the Soul Valley. Like that could have been better. And I think that there's ways that could be better for the next game if they decide to do all this whole thing again. But yeah, it controls really good, and it's fun to smash through things, and like it's fun like to blast enemies like with missiles and stuff. DK Bonanza is a bit like really cool modern take on retro platforming gameplay. Very homage to the DK franchise. Yes. Never thought about it like that. DK can get poked by a bird and die. That's what I'm saying. Like he gets touched one time by a rat. It can be like a rat that runs into him and he goes running off. Like it's crazy. So it's cool that they actually made him as strong as he's supposed to be. You know, like what the lore says that he is. You know, although you know in DK the old games he is strong. He can pick up big heavy barrels. He can he can swing down vines. Like, to swing down vines, like, to have that strength to pull yourself up, that's actually, you got to be really strong to do that, And, like, how fast he does it, yeah, he's strong, but, and, like, he don't ever really show his real strength, in the previous games. Yeah, the System Shock remake, that looks pretty good. The System Shock remake looks really good. By the way, after 5 hours, MP4 is absolutely a 91 game, no questions about it. And DK Bonanza 93-94. Why do you think that they're so dang underrated? Anti-Nintendo grifter hate. Well, I mean, DK has around what you're saying. So DK has a 91 average. So that's right around what you're saying. In terms of Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime 4 just got hit by people's expectations. And that we got Metroid Prime 1 remastered. Some people were expecting it to be like Prime 1 remastered. So I think that's what happened there. I mean, then you have like purists as well that are like, Samus can't talk to anybody. It's got to be by herself. So you got hit with just like nerd rage essentially on Metroid Prime 4. But yeah, there was really no expectations for Donkey Kong Bonanza because, I mean, we hadn't got a Donkey Kong game in how many, I mean, Donkey Kong 64 was so old at that point. So yeah. Shout outs though. My man Yak Diesel. Thank you so much for the 21, 21, 50, 21, was it 50, 2157, 2157. You are now the new Hokage and Stream Ninja. Anyone does more than 2157, or if you've already supported, y'all know the deal. Just subtract the difference. Appreciate you, Yak Diesel. Yak D. Yo, I appreciate you, fam. If you guys have more questions, feel free to tag me at PlayerEssence, hashtag PlayerEssence. PlayerEssence by itself. I'm more than happy to answer all of your questions as we inch closer to the 19 combos away from the Platinum Streak, 78. Like I was slowly playing Counterattack every day, like back in 2017. Yeah. Anytime that we get Xenoblade music, it's going to play. It's going to play on the auto track there, so that's going to happen. OJ, how epic was the boss of Flare Pool's Metroid Prime 4 just entered the factory? I'm loving this game. Yeah, it was really fun. Really fun. Also, Metroid Prime 1, also good. A lot of people spoiled brats. MP1 is also good, so a lot of people I don't think it's even about being spoiled. It's about your expectations. I saw some people saying, oh, well, it took them, 8-10 years to make the game, so it should have been better. And it's like, it didn't take them 10 years to make the game. It didn't even take them 8 years to make the game. The game was in development from Bandai Namco, okay? The game was not shaping up to be good. So what they did is that they scrapped it, and they started from scratch with, with Retro Studios. So Retro Studios didn't inherit everything that Bandai Namco worked on. They made the game from scratch according to Nintendo. So really, they probably started up like around 2019. Nintendo announced it in 2019, so they were still recruiting and kind of getting things going for the game to plan the game. So really, I would guess development didn't even really start till 2019 at some point. So we're looking at maybe 5 to 6 years of actual development. And I don't know how long Metroid Prime 4 has been done. It might have just been sitting there while Nintendo launches the Switch 2 and gets it in its lineup. So I'm guessing that Metroid Prime 4 has probably been done since the end of 2024. So we're probably looking at 5 years, 5-6 years of development. Tops. Top 6. It does not stretch into 8-10 years. Like some people are trying to, try to make it out to be. So I think that that's where some of it comes from. I saw somebody say that online yesterday. I was like, yeah, it didn't spend 8 years in development. That's not true. Let's see here. Like how gorillas can bench 4,000 pounds. Can they? When was the last time that you saw a gorilla bench press? Can they really bench press? It's a lot of weight if they could. Anyway, Donkey Kong should be able to bench press way more than that. He can rip apart buildings and destroy skyscrapers, Can't complain. Xenoblade music is peak. Yeah, can't complain about Xenoblade music. It's great. What's up, Upper Nimbus? Welcome. Hey, for Nintendo has been around for a long time. It only seems like more because people have access to a mic and computer screen. I think that there's definitely money in hating on them. There's definitely, you know, clouts that you could make for sure. I think before in the past, I think it came from a place of people actually wanting things to be better. But I think down at this point, it comes from, you know, from sometimes clout chasing or sometimes just anger or whatever. But a lot of it is grifting, clout chasing, looking to make money off of rage bait. So that's the unfortunate thing. Like before in the past, you used to be able to trust, you know, creators had, you know, I mean, it wasn't all the time, guys. There was trolls always and all that. But usually you're able to trust what people were trying to say most of the time, unless you knew it was like crumb side community of YouTube or whatever. But in today's day, I mean, it's hard to trust a lot of reviewers, even if they do feel like they're front facing and that they're trying to be honest. It's hard to even trust what people are saying in general. Heck, man, I mean, people obviously don't trust what I say too, and I'm being as truthful as possible. So there's a lot of dishonesty and there's a lot of nonsense that are happening. So it's like I said, that's why, to me at least, you know, I don't trust anybody when it comes to the game. Like I don't trust anybody when it comes to games and all that. I trust my own opinion. I trust what you guys say. I'll look into it a bit more. But if you guys notice, if you guys tell me, so, hey OJ, play this game, I think it looks great. I might crack a joke if I think it looks trash, or I might say, oh yeah, well I'll check it out. I'll check it. That's my way of saying, hey man, you know, I feel you. But I mean, you know, it is what it is, right? Now, if I know, like, some of you guys have recommended some games and stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah. Like, if I generally sound like, okay, I'm going to, I'll be honest with you guys. But if I just kind of say, hey, you know, yeah, maybe, like, that's what I'm, it's no offense. I'm just saying. You know, now, when it comes to stuff that I say, y'all don't got to take what I say 100%. I don't shove nothing down you guys' throats when it comes to certain stuff. Last time I did that was, like, Xenoblade 2. Xenoblade 3, I just talked about how awesome it was and what I like. And I'll discuss it back and forth. But y'all don't gotta play it if you don't want to. I'm not telling anybody it's gonna be for everybody. You know, like y'all can do whatever you want. If you guys trust what I say, then I appreciate that. But I'm not the be all end all. I'm not some alpha omega of video games. You guys do not have to buy everything that I recommend. You don't have to agree with everything that I like. So I just want to make sure that I put that out there. A lot of content creators think that their word is final. When it comes to what their audience should play. And I do not think that. I do not think that at all. A lot of times, even with games that I don't like Hi-Fi Rush. I told you guys, look, man, it's not for me, but I bet you guys would like it. That's what I said. I said, I bet you anything, if you played it, you'd like it. And Starfield, I was like, hey, look, it's not for me, but if you try it out yourself, if you think it looks lit, then hey, it's all good. You know, I'm not, same thing with Death Stranding, man. Hey, look, it's not for me, but if you think it looks good, play it yourself. Because my opinion is just another drop in the bucket. It ain't better or worse than anybody else's opinion when it comes to games that people play. You know, so yeah. That's from Kiro no it's from Legend of Heroes. Legend of Heroes game. No Kiseki, that game. OJ, you should check out Smurf Kart. It's a really good game. Hey, I trust your opinion. I'm being 100% real here. I felt like either I was going crazy or the entire world needed to take a drug test because I was playing Metroid Prime 4 and absolutely loving the heck out of it. Jackson, same way for me. I did not understand. I'm playing the game and I'm like, this plays better than Prime 1, Prime 2, and Prime 3. This has more control options than all of them combined. Like, this game has super smooth frame rate. It has great graphics. It has great music. Now, it's not perfect. That's fine. Soul Valley could be better, sure, but it's just a hub world. Does that mean it's a 6 out of 10? Yeah, sure. There's some NPCs that talk. Maybe even if you don't like it, that doesn't mean it's a 6 out of 10 based off the gameplay alone. Gameplay alone, it's an 8 out of 10 just based off the gameplay. It's an 8 out of 10. There ain't no way it gets down to a 6. So, you know, Digital Foundry talked about it. You know, they talked about their own personal opinions and like the reviews. And a lot of what they said echoed what I was thinking. I'm like, one, I don't care about it. It's like, hey, people are allowed to have their opinions. That's fine. But two, like, what are they, like, what are we missing something here? Is Metroid, that's why I said, maybe I'm just not a Metroid Prime fan. Maybe I'm not a Metroid Prime fan because apparently there's people that are Metroid Prime fans where everything about the game is about being by yourself and nobody talking. That's the whole game. That's everything to them. Everything to them is nobody else and by yourself. It's not about the gameplay. It's not about the controls. It's not about how smooth it is. It's not about the great boss battles. It's not about all that. It's just about being by yourself and no talking. That makes or breaks the game. So apparently that's what hardcore Metroid Prime fans think is the greatest thing in the world. Okay, fine. Maybe I'm not a Metroid Prime fan. Maybe I'm just not a Metroid Prime fan. So yeah. Because to me, I'm just about the game playing significantly better than every other Prime game. It physically plays better, offers more options, smoother, faster, better controls, cool upgrades, power-ups. To me, it's just as good, if not better, than any other Prime game. It's got the best gimmick, the psychic powers, things like that. To me, I think it's better than the corruption mode. I think it's better than light and dark shooting. Metroid Prime 1 had no gimmick. It was just, the gimmick was lock-on in first person, you know? So to me, it's just significantly better from a gameplay standpoint than any of the other Prime games. So to me, no lower than an 8. I mean, like, there's no way. Like I said, unless there was like bugs and glitches, then yeah, lower than an 8, right? But the game plays like a dream. It plays super smooth. Loading times, I mean, they're a bit longer if you have it physical, but digital, not too bad on that. So yeah. So yeah, I thought I didn't know what was going on either. But like I said, I get it. There are certain Metroid Prime fans that the whole game to them is, if there's this, that ruins the experience to them, because that's what the experience was. It wasn't about the actual shooting and the combat and the gameplay. It was simply about being alone and Samus never talking and everything being quiet and isolation and I'm by myself and I'm scared, or I don't know, or whatever. So yeah. So everybody has their opinions on what they think Metroid should be, and what it is. So yeah. The controls are so good. The performance is great on Switch One. Yeah, I mean, like, for it to have the same, score as around Metroid Other M, it just seems crazy to me. Like, just seems wild to me. Spider Returns is my favorite power up. Psychic Spider Ball. Also, Grap-Off nodes. Seriously, love that. Yeah, it's great, man. It's great. I think it's fantastic. I think the upgrades are great. I think the powers are fun. Definitely, like I said, it could be better, but to me, it's no lower than an 8. I mean, 7 is pushing it too, Like, 7's really pushing it. But yeah. The conversation thing doesn't even make sense. A lot of conversations happen via text in older games. Yeah, and even like Metroid Dread has a lot of conversation as well. But it's like talking though. It's not necessarily like text, just talking. But yeah, Metroid Prime 3 has it, obviously, like I said, Metroid Dread has it, so I don't know where that came from, but it's a thing, it's a thing with Metroid Prime 1 at least, so yeah, and Metroid Prime 2, so yeah. Let's see here. The biggest thing for me is that Prime had such a unique gameplay that no other game really offer. Want to do it well. We continue to get more games in the series. Nothing really hits the same as Metroid. Yeah, and I think that's the thing that doesn't make sense to me when it comes to people trying to say, oh, well, it doesn't push anything going forward. Metroid Prime is a super unique game that many games don't even... What other game plays like Metroid Prime? So it's funny when they say, oh, well, it doesn't... I saw some people, I think like Skill Up or some people, I saw other people say, it doesn't push anything forward. There's nothing... And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, what game are we... First of all, there hasn't been a new Metroid game in like 20 years. So, like, I don't understand that aspect of it. And two, there are so many control schemes and different ways to play the game. If you're playing the game mouse mode, that is a very different way to play the game than playing the game with pointer controls or playing the game like Metroid Prime 1 on the GameCube. You're trying to tell me that pointer controls don't add anything to the experience? And then also on top of that, you have like the bike, which is obviously, like I said, Soul Valley could be better, but that's still definitely a different experience than not having a bike. Like getting from like area to area. That's definitely a different experience. So if you're looking at different, and like the psychic powers, obviously that's a different thing that they didn't do in previous games. So if you combine all that with the different types of ways to play, plus the lock-on gyro controls, different type of stuff like that, to me, it actually creates a pretty cool and really fun experience. And once again, there's no other game like Metroid, so it's not like other games are copying Metroid and it feels like a different game. Like there's no other shooter that I can think of that I've played or that I've seen that plays like Metroid, and we haven't gotten anything in 20 years. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't get it. Metroid, it seems to be graded on a different scale than other games. But hey, it is what it is, Just finished Prime 4 today. I think it's a solid 8.5. I think positives outweigh negatives personally. Yeah, and like I said, that's fine. Yeah, 8.5 is a good score. Would you rate Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 3 higher? Do you think those games are better? What would you rate those games? Are those games higher than 8.5 or are they lower than 8.5 for you? if you remember those games. I agree 100%. Love Metroid Prime 4. I can't wait to see what they do next. One being built for the Switch 2 from the ground up. Yes, that's going to be, yo, Sam, exactly. I'm excited to see what they do building upon this foundation that they have. Because I think that there's a lot of great stuff here. Not perfect, but there's a lot of great stuff here that they can build upon. You know, let's see here. We're not real. I mean, I must not be a real Metroid Prime fan. I guess I'm not. Seriously, like, I guess I'm not. You know, maybe I'm not, man. I've talked about how I don't like Metroid Prime as much as other people do. You know, I don't see it as like a, you know, as a, you know, a 10 out of 10 game of the century, best game ever made. Like, I don't see it as that. So yeah. So I hope the team at Retro knows a lot of people are loving the game. They do, because they see a lot of people talking about it very positively as well. So yeah. Yeah, Skillet Bash Prime 4 in the same breath, Blaze Dread, which did the exact same things. He was criticizing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond 4. Dread didn't drive the genre forward either. I mean, really, Dread just had the Emmys, which were really cool. But I think the Emmys is kind of like a one-time gimmick thing. I don't know if you can actually do the Emmys again in a certain type of way. But yeah, Metroid Dread didn't really do anything super crazy to drive I mean, to me, it's the best Metroid style of game. I like it the most, like 2D game out of there. But yeah, it didn't really do anything that I can think of that driven like the whole genre forward or the whole 2D Metroid games forward. But it did have the whole Emmys, and the Emmys were awesome. But yeah, like I said, I don't think you can really do the Emmys again. I mean, you could, but I don't know how well it'll work, you know? I'm not sure how well it'll work, more like it. Shout outs to Johnny with the $5 dono. Johnny! It's me, Johnny. Thank you so much for the support, brother. Appreciate that. Let's go. 86 on the board. 14 combos away from the Platinum extension. Ayo. For me, I'm playing it. All feels good to me. So far, I'm about 5 hours in. Having a great time. It's not perfect, but the game is much better than the reviews portray. Yeah, absolutely. While I respect people wanting Prime 4 to be Prime 1, I think it should be okay for Prime 4 to stand out on its own. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't want another Prime 1, so I'm glad that they didn't do that. But like I said, I get it for those who wanted that too. It's like, that's fair. Says hi from France. Hey, shout outs, appreciate you. From France, let's go. Let's say, you are people just need to remove the nostalgia glasses. Prime 1 was godlike, but not that godlike. I mean, Prime 1 was definitely godlike. It was definitely fun. I replayed it and it was a slog. I had to cut it off. You know? I had to turn it off multiple times. One, I was getting nauseous, but two, it was just like, I was like, I got kind of tired of it, you know? Prime 4, I'm not getting tired of it. I'm excited to get back into it. I'm a stupid person that likes motorcycles too much. I don't know. I'm a dumb person that likes motorcycles too much, and I like communicating with people. I'm a communication guy, so I don't mind communication in video games. But maybe I'm just a dumb person that likes motorcycles way too much. Because, like, I always like motorcycles. I think that they're like, the coolest thing. Like I said, I wish I could get one of my own, but my family won't let me have one. They're dangerous. So, I think my wife, she was like, yeah, when you get old and you're close to the end, then go ride a motorcycle. So that if something happens to you, it doesn't matter. And I was like, oh, okay, I see how it is. So, one of these days, I'll get one of these days. Just not anytime soon, you know? So yeah. They want to collect those passively while heading to the new areas. Oh yeah, I collect. You know what I did one night? I just collected a ton of the green stuff and just rolled around, just fought things, and I unlocked the whole map. Like I cleared up the whole map and went to every single little part and got every single crystal there. So yeah, I'm good on that one. So yeah. Yeah, motorcycles are incredibly dangerous. Everybody that I know that has a motorcycle has crashed their motorcycle. Like, every single person that I knew that had one got into an accident and crashed it, which I guess is maybe unfair because of people that get into car accidents all the time. But motorcycles, you're exposed, man. You are exposed. I've seen, boom, they go flying off of it and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, I think for me, whenever I get one, it's just going to be, I get one Sunday stroll, right? Sunday, people are at home. There's not a lot of traffic, you know, and I just take it for a stroll. It's not like me going, playing Fast and the Furious or nothing. Just take it for a stroll. Just go close places and that's it. Nothing crazy, no freeways, nothing. Just stroll inside the neighborhood, you know, like, and a little bit outside and that's it, and then come right back. You know, I think that's what I'm gonna do when I finally get one. Just real quick, just little strolls. 96 months, hugs, love you, oranges. Hey, appreciate you, V. Thank you for the 96 months. Hey yo, I appreciate that. We already had 3 other Prime games. Why not have a Prime game that tries to be different? Exactly. Dread just did everything perfectly. It did everything perfectly and got under a 90 score. Like, it did everything perfectly and got an 80 and got lower than Hollow Knight and Silksong. But it did everything perfectly. I agree. So, I don't know, man. Straw Hat Monty with another $5 dono. I actually bought Prime Remastered when Prime 4 hit. Seemed like the time to go in. You mentioned Azuma, though I didn't beat it yet. So Prime can wait. Okay, yeah. Might as well. I mean, you know, it is what it is. 91 on the board. Hey, yo, we've tied yesterday. So we're going to see if we can get 9 more combos. Get a platinum streak. 78. Thank you guys so much. Let's go.
Even further beyond.
Yes, sir. 96 months, V. I appreciate you, young lady. Almost at the big 100 months. Hey, yo, I appreciate you, V. Let's see. I'm not married to my preferences, though. I thought Prime 1 was the weakest of the trilogy, specifically because it lacked additional characters, no spoken dialogue, etc. Prime 2 is number 1 and Prime 4 is number 2. Okay, got you. Yeah, I do not like Prime. I do not like Prime 2 that much. Prime 2 is really good, though. It actually fixes a lot of issues with Prime 1, especially like late game missions and stuff like that. I'm leaning, like I said, I'm not done yet. I'm 10 hours plus in, but I'm leaning towards, my ranking would be, for Prime games at least, it would be, right now I'm leaning, not 100%, but it'd be probably Prime 4, this is from top to bottom, Prime 4, Prime 3, Prime 1, Prime 2, Prime Pinball, Prime Hunters, Prime Federation Force. I think that would be my listing right now. Maybe I'll make a video on it on my top Prime after I beat Prime 4. So we'll see. Surprised by the performance of Skyrim Switch 2 since Fallout 4 looks like it's running at 60 FPS based on the trailer. Yeah, I mean, I'm not well, let's wait on Fallout, House Gang. But yeah, that should have been 60 FPS on Switch 2. We talked about that earlier. I'm not sure if you were here. Yeah, Dread is underrated. Prince of Persia Lost Crown is underrated. Metro Prime 4 is underrated. Silksong is overrated. Come out. I have to agree. No, I agree with that. Metroid Dread, Lost Crown, and Prime 4, I think those are all better games than Silksong. And not by like a little bit, kind of by like, for me, like a step above Silksong, you know? Silksong does have a smaller team and it's only $20, so it's going to get a lot of extra love because of that. But yeah, I'll take Lost Crown, I'll take Prime 4, and I'll take Metroid Dread over Silksong, yeah. And Hollow Knight. Those are great games. Those are incredible. And once again, those don't have the team size that Metroid has and all that. So that's very impressive. Like, pound for pound, Hollow Knight and Silksong are, you know, they can lift with the best of them. You know, like, you guys know, like, you ever, you know, lift weights, like, the people that are small that can lift more weights, that can be stronger pound for pound than people that are heavier that can lift more. So if somebody that's 170 pounds can bench 225 pounds compared to somebody that's 240 pounds benching like, you know, 250 pound for pound, that 170 pounder that can bench 225 is more impressive than maybe that 225 pounder that can bench 250 or 260, because pound for pound, you know, they're benching a lot for their weight. So I think that's where Hollow Knight and Silksong fit in. You know, they're not bigger, or maybe not even better for some people, not for me, but pound for pound, based on the development size, they're pretty good games, right? They can go toe to toe with some of the best in the industry from a gameplay standpoint, for what some people think, and for the price. Now, for me, nah, I think Dread and Prime 4 and Lost Crown to just crush Silksong and Hollow Knight. I don't think it's particularly close for me. But my opinion, once again, is just a drop in the bucket. I do understand. I've played both of those games, and they're both very good. So I can understand why people think that they're better than what I'm saying personally. You know, so yeah. So I would rate, I mean, Silksong and Hollow Knight are great. They're both really good. They're both really, really, really good. You know? Silksong gets praised for being cheap. It was full price. It would never be 10. Yeah. Oh, if Silksong was $50-$60, it'd be like a 80 on Metacritic. Yeah, I mean, it gets a lot of extra hype because of like the you know, consumer friendly, right? It's cheaper. Yeah, I do think that if Silksong was, you know, if it was, it could be the same game, but if it was $50-$60, I think it would have rated way lower. Yeah, I agree. I have to agree with that one. Oh yeah, I would love a Dread upgrade. I would love a Dread upgrade, man. That would be really great. My new rank is Super Metroid, Dread, Fusion Prime 4, then Prime 2. Well, yeah, I didn't put 2D Metroid games in there. If it's 2D Metroid games, then obviously I'd have to rethink that all the way through. But maybe I'll do like a top, you know, my top 10 Metroid games as well. Hey, what's up, House Gang? Or sorry, what's up, the Great Wah? Excuse me. No, nobody said Silksong wasn't great. You know, nobody said Silksong wasn't great. I just don't think it's as good as the games that we mentioned there. You know, and those all those. I mean, Silksong has a higher rating than all the games that we talked about, that I just talked about right now. Between Prime 4, obviously, you know, Prime 4, Dread, and the Lost Crown. Dude, we need a new Metroid Prime pinball. Imagine Prime 4 graphics and psychic bumpers only visible in scan mode. You can unlock extra balls in the GF Troops Mackenzie ball. We need this. Yeah. You know, I'd be down for the Metroid Prime pinball. I'd be down for it. I actually like Metroid Prime pinball. I think it's fun. I think it's really fun. Like, it's got like actual missions, and like Samus can come out and shoot at times. And it's like, okay, you're hunting. I think it's like space. It's like something with the space. I forgot what exactly the game was about, but I played it and I thought it was really good. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was fun. So yeah, mine would be 4, 3, 2, and then and one last. Never played pinball. Pinball's fun. I mean, you have to like pinball, obviously. Like, I'm a big fan of pinball, like actual pinball machines. And one of these days, when I build my ultimate gaming room for like when I retire, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna have pinball machines in there. I'm gonna have a big old room full of pinball machines that light up and all that. So I'm a big fan of pinball just in general. I like the Star Wars pinball, the Simpsons pinball, like the Marvel pinball. I think there was a Marvel pinball, or there was like a Spider-Man pinball. Like, I'm a big fan. I like the pinball game, the Space Cadet pinball. I've just been a big fan of it my whole life. Ever since I saw it when I went to the arcades back in the day. The first time I saw a pinball machine, I was like, whoa! Little OJ was like, whoa, what is this? And I was like, wow, this is cool. So I've just been fascinated with pinball for a long time. So I need one. I think I'm gonna buy one and put one in my garage. So I think I'm gonna buy one. I just gotta convince my wife to let me buy one. But when I find a pinball machine, I want the Bart Simpsons pinball. I want the Simpsons pinball one. If I can get one, if I can buy an authentic pinball machine, I'll get it. But they're pricey and they're hard to find sometimes and all that. So Chrono Rig with the $5 dono. This might be a hot take in other parts of the YouTube, but I'm loving my Switch 2. My only want is I want more Switch 2 upgrades like the Xeno games. Chrono Rig, that is, listen, liking the Switch 2 or saying that you're having fun with it is not a hot take. The people that are hating on it literally want one. Or have one on the DL. I'm not going to say who because I can't verify it, but there is a big hater on YouTube right now that actually has a Switch 2, but he kept it on the DL. I was able to get a couple connections, and this person bought one, apparently from Best Buy, and keeps it on the DL, but grifts for money. So, like I said, I can't verify it, so I'm not going to say who it is or whatever, but I do have some information like that. And like I said, we saw what happened at launch with people that were saying, oh, they're not going to buy it, and they went out there and bought it, you know? So it's not really a hot take. It's really not that hot of a take to say that you like it or that you enjoy it. Lots of people do. It's selling really well. Like, lots of people like it. I just think it's funny that it's like people have to say, oh, well, it's not a hot take to like it. Thank you for the $5 dono. Chrono Rig, we are doing something. Let me press it again. We are going even further than beyond. 4 combos away from that 100 platinum streak. Ayo. Appreciate that. All right, take it easy, Gloria. Thanks for coming out to the stream. Why do I always see OJ getting tilt on machines? No, I don't do the tilt. I don't hit the machines. I don't do that. Can't get the tilt. Okay, now you're just thinking in a really weird way. Talk about I just love balls. Now you're thinking really weird. But hey, look, it is what it is. You put the soccer ball. I don't love soccer at all. I don't know if you've been to my streams, Mecha Ridley, but there's never been a time where I've said that I love soccer. I did play it a lot when I was a kid, though. I did play it a lot and thought that it was fun back then. But I mean, I stopped playing soccer like after 6th grade and never looked back. Like I never looked back at all. I don't remember the last time that I even. No, I kicked the soccer ball with my daughter, like my nephews. But yeah. But no, I do not love soccer at all. Or football. Basketball, I do like basketball. Football, I love football. Yes. That hand egg, whatever the Europeans like to call it to make fun of it for some reason. Hand egg, yes. Or foreign people call it. So yeah, I like hand egg. I like American football. But yeah, that's about the only sport that I actually love. I don't think I love any other sport outside of American football. Players, since you missed my Metroid Prime 4 Beyond best game of 2025 this year, I can see it as some people's best games of 2025. I can see it as that. I just think Federation Force released on Switch 2 with Prime 4 graphics, dual analog, gyro aiming, proper game chat, and characters Miles, Urza, Nora, and Rigger would be fire. Dude, if Metroid Prime Federation Force released on the Wii U with good graphics, it would have not got the score that it got. The fact that it just looked chibi, it looked stupid, made Samus look really stupid and chibi, and people just didn't want to play that at the time. They wanted a real Metroid Prime game or Metroid game. It just got buried. But I played the game. It's not that bad. It's not like Federation Force is nowhere near as bad as the reviews say that it is. It's a solid game. It just came out at the wrong time and got the ire of everybody that was angry that Nintendo didn't make what they wanted, you know? Similar, but obviously nowhere near to the effect with Prime 4. But Prime 4 is kind of having some of what we saw with Federation Force. Federation Force is not a it's a 60 rated game where it's completely trash and there's no or it's like, you know, terrible and there's so many problems. It is not that bad. I mean, I would say it's probably like a 75, a 7.5, a 7. It is not a 60 something game, you know, that has serious gameplay issues and combat issues. It does not have that. It's actually an okay game, you know. And it's not a 60 something. People were just angry, you know. And this has now happened a couple times with Metroid. You know, this has happened a couple times. Actually, this happened, I think this is the third time that, well, no, I'm not going to count Metroid Other M because the controls in that game were jacked. But this is probably the second time that it's happened between Metroid Prime 4 and Metroid Prime Federation Force, you know. Prime 4 is my game of the year, is your game of the year. I don't know if it's my game of the year, man, but let me finish it and then we'll see what happens, you know. Digimon Story Time Stranger is really good. Just I haven't had time to play it. No time to play it. Grifters all seem to have played Switch 2 game when it drops. They just look at what other people say online and then go off of that. Retro. Let's see here. N3DS wasn't the right platform for it. Lack of dual analog. It needs to use the chibi art style to really damage FF. Yeah, exactly. Like, obviously, you had no dual analog with that. I mean, it had a nice lock-on system, which was good. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, multiplayer isn't the 3DS's strong suit. So trying to hook up and do multiplayer with voice chat, and I don't think there even was there? So yeah, that was the problem. So it was just the wrong platform. But it's not like a 60 rated game. It's probably like a 7 out of 10. It's probably like a 70 overall. That's probably what the game is. So yeah. Solid year in gaming. Question, where am I in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond? Well, I don't want to have any spoilers, Thomas, so I'm not going to give you guys exactly where I'm at, but yeah, I'm doing some stuff. It's fun. I don't know if it's my game of the year, but I had the most fun hours in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Alright, that's cool. That's cool. You had a lot of time. Fun in hours. There you go. Sonic Racing Cross. I vibe with it. Alright, I get that's cool. Bubbles, that's cool. Or bubblegum crazy. No, nothing wrong with Sonic Racing. It's a good game. It's a good game. I have a question. Are you playing Metroid Prime? Yeah, I'm playing it. Yeah, I'm playing it. I am playing it. I am playing it. What's up, Painucci? Welcome. What is good? Yeah, shout outs. No, shout outs. No, it's a good game, guys. It's a good game. Oh my gosh. Oh man. It's a good game. Isn't it nice we don't have to worry about Nintendo platforms being inadequate to fully realize games to their full potential? Or at least, here's what I'll say though, Jackson. Yes, you're right. I mean, there are obviously some things like, you know, Assassin's Creed and stuff. But here's what I will say. To me, it's not about the triplest of AAA. That one we expect there to be some type of compromises. What makes me more upset, Jackson, which is why I got upset about Daemon X Machina, it's when the AA messes it up. Like, I think it's nice to be able to pick up Sonic Racing on Switch 2 and say, oh, I don't gotta worry about it being crusty. It's gonna be a good version of the game. Sonic Racing, good version of the game. Or even like AA RPGs. Like, you can pick up Rune Factory, okay, they're gonna target 60. On Switch 1, it's 30 with dips, right? Like, these are the things to me that are like really important. So to me, I agree with what you're saying, but I think that it's the fact that the AA stuff, right? Because that's what we get most of the time. We don't always get the triplest of AAA, right? We don't always get the biggest of biggest games. Like, it's not always going to be Mario and, you know, mainline Zelda and, you know, whatever, right? So it's stuff like, for example, like Hyrule Warriors. We don't have to worry about Hyrule Warriors running like an absolute slideshow. That, to me, is the best thing about Switch 2. It's the smaller or AA-ish type of games. Not the triplest of AAA, but the AA games are pretty much guaranteed to run solid. And to me, you're going to play more AA games for the most part, or AA-ish, than the biggest of AAA. You know, Pokemon Legends, although that's a AAA, like, Pokemon is a big franchise, it's more of like a AA game in terms of development size and scope. That runs fine. It runs perfect on Switch 2, right? Hyrule Warriors, Guardians of Azuma. A lot of the games are going to be more of the AA type of style or very low-end AAA budget type of style. And all of those games, for the most part, run really good on Switch 2. You don't have to worry too much with a few things here and there. Now, the triplest of AAA, yeah, those are going to be the 30 FPS games. Sometimes you're going to have those little slip-ups like Skyrim. That should be 60, but whatever, right? But for the most part, all of Nintendo's first-party games are going to run at 60 FPS. For the most part, there might be a few that nothing that I can think of right now. So you don't got to worry about that at all. Nintendo first-party games, pretty much everything's running at 60 FPS. So to me, that is super important that you get Nintendo's first-party games and that you get AA games at better frame rates, at 60 FPS. Now, like I said, the triplest of AAA, I can understand those. The big Impossible ports, that are going to come later, I can understand those being 30. Just give me good quality, though. Give me Star Wars Outlaws quality, and I'm fine. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be 60. Just give me really solid 30 with very little dips, and good frame pacing. And I think that's what makes Switch 2 really nice, like where I feel you, Jackson, Because Switch 1, it was always a mixed bag, bro. You had no idea. When you got a game, it could run good. When a game was announced, it could run good, it could run trash, and it was probably going to be 30 frames per second, almost like every single game, every single AA game. That's what AA games, Ease 8 Lacrimosa have done. It looked like a PS2 game on the Switch 1 running at 30 FPS, and I'm like, really? I mean, like, we got 60 FPS games on GameCube and stuff that looked, obviously not as good as this, but should have been better. And then Nintendo themselves weren't able to curtail, problems with 30 FPS as well, like with Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. So for me, it's just great to have that assurance that, okay, if it's 30, at least it's going to be a locked, solid 30 with very little or issues there for most games. If it's a 30 frames per second. If it's 60, you might have some dips, but it's going to be, for the most part, good. So that, to me, is like breathe a sigh of relief. That's why I bought a Steam Deck. I bought a Steam Deck just in case for those I bought a Steam Deck for the AA or for, like, the Persona type of games. That's why I bought a Steam Deck, because I wasn't sure if the Switch 2 was good. I wasn't sure. I knew it was going to be good, but I wasn't sure that it was going to be like that. So I wanted to have a backup, just in case. But once the Switch 2 came out and I saw all the games, and they were running at good frame rates, and the performance seemed to be solid, the specs seemed to be solid, I was like, okay, I don't need this anymore. I'm good. Like, I'm not gonna. There's no point. I don't need it. Not that it's not a. It's not that it's a bad system. I just personally just don't need it. So yeah. Careful with certain enemies. Some people might still be there. 91 Gamer Boy. So careful with that. Might not be there. Don't say specific enemies because some people be spoiler territory for some. Xenoblade handheld resolution, for example, won't be a problem for new entries moving forward or sub 30 FPS Warriors titles, etc. Exactly. Sub 30 FPS War. I think Warriors titles, I mean, we're going to get 30 FPS Wars. Like the new Warriors game, that one is 30 FPS. But I mean, for me, I don't play those. And hopefully it's a lock 30. We'll see if they do that. I think they should still offer performance modes. But, you know, Nintendo's games so far, like all the Warriors games on Nintendo systems, on Switch 2, you can play them at 60. Well, even on Switch 1, those played at 60, two of them. But not Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. But on Switch 2, they're all at 60. So that's good. I don't really care too much about the Warriors games outside of the branded ones that Nintendo collaborates with. So, exactly. Echoes of Wisdom, that now runs at 60, you know, consistently. Link's Awakening, 60. So we're getting much better experience. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, that runs at 60. Hopefully there's an update for Legends Arceus at some point where that can run at 60, you know, so it's just better. It's just a better overall thing, you know? This is horrible port, but Bethesda, even if the Series S is 6, that's what I'm saying. That's what we said earlier. It's a bad port because, I mean, it's a good port in terms of how it looks visually. The graphics are good, like the mouse mode and all the cool features they added in. That's good, but bad in terms of them not actually taking the extra time to get it at 60 because that's stupid. I'm guessing they didn't want to feel like reworking CPU stuff, so that's what I'm guessing. But the Switch 1 version runs at 30 FPS, so there's no excuse. The Switch 2 is significantly stronger in CPU and GPU, so there's no excuse for Skyrim to be running at 30 on Switch 2. Otherwise, they just didn't want to rework CPU stuff in order to get it to work, which is a bit lazy in my opinion. But hey, it is what it is. To be honest, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I was gonna play it again. I have the game on Switch 1. I have the game on Xbox and PlayStation and PC. I mean, I can already play it at wherever, but I'm done with Skyrim. I know people like it and people are gonna play it on Switch 2 or Switch 1, but I'm done with that game. I'm never gonna play that game again. So, but yeah, it is lazy. Let's see. No, it's all good. 91 Gamer Boy, you didn't mean to. Man, we have 4 Zeldas on titles on Switch with frame rate issues. Some weren't a huge deal, but being locked at $60 a chef kiss, yeah. I mean, like when I played Breath of the Wild, I didn't like. Listen, there was some frame rate issues, but the game was so immersive and so good, like you barely even noticed it. But I mean, I played it at launch, so there was some issues. Like the game froze on me a couple times. Like one time, the Switch just couldn't handle it. It was raining. There was a bunch of enemies on screen, and the thunder hit. Like there was some thunder, and I got shocked, and it went. And it was like straight up like a cartoon Looney Tunes or something like that. I got shocked and dropped all my stuff, and the Switch just could not handle it, and it just froze the system. It just went because there was just too much stuff happening on screen that normally wouldn't happen. You wouldn't have that many bokoblins, rain, lightning, everything just all at once, and it literally just exploded the CPU of the Switch, and it just froze my Switch. And then, I mean, I reset it and it was fine. Like, it didn't, nothing, I never had that issue again. And then there was patches, but it was just funny that that happened in the first place. It just like everything just hit the system at once. And I don't think it just couldn't handle it. I just could not handle it. And it just went, and just, I had to restart it. Hey, what's up, Lucette? Welcome. You're my number 3. Oh, I was your number 3 channel on 2025 YouTube recap. Hey, yo. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Lucette. Same with OJ. No point in using Steam Deck when Switch 2 can run those games. Same and even better. I mean, this thing with Steam Deck, which for some people I think works well, Eurus, is that Steam Deck, for games that are built for Xbox and PlayStation specifically, Steam Deck is good, and they're not the most graphically intense. Like Persona 3 Reload. That's built for Xbox and whatever, and was not rushed out. They optimized it, and they were able to run it at 60 on Steam Deck. Switch 2, they rushed it out. It's not built for, for ARM, so it's at 30 FPS, to make it, to retain the visual look of it. So there are some games, that's the benefit to Steam Deck. So if you're, certain games, it might be better. Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion runs better on Steam Deck, but a lot of the games, when it comes to certain stuff that are built specifically for Switch 2, run better, can look better on Switch 2 over Steam Deck. Steam Deck is old at this point. Some of the newer PC handhelds are looking better, obviously, than Switch 2, like ROG Ally X and all that. But you have to deal with all the ROG Ally X stuff, all the different things that you have to do to get that. And to me, it's not worth the extra headache of a PC handheld. So for me, Switch 2 strikes the best balance between ease of use and power. Ease of use is very important for me. I want, like, you know, Switch took it to the next level. I want it. Here's what I need for like a handheld portable hybrid system. I need instant docking. I need no BS, no issues, no anything. That's what I need. So I need a dock that's instant. And then what else I need is I need a system that's not crazy with like tweaking to get to play a certain way. So once they make a PC handheld where you don't have to constantly tweak games over and over, or tweak things, or, you know, see the support and all that, and once they do it to where it can dock and it's easy and it's not as complicated as some of these, like with Steam Deck and all that. Like, I know that there's some docks that work really well, but I tried it on my TV, and for some reason my LG was not handling the dock that everybody told me to get with the Steam Deck. And I've seen some people have issues like with ROG Ally docks and stuff, whereas Switch 2, it's instant, it's easy, it's fast. So for me, I need a good balance between the power and ease of use, because I'm not a PC tinkerer type of person. I don't like to tinker with graphic settings. I don't like doing that. I've tried to get into that, and I just don't like doing it. All I like is I just want to have performance modes. Tell me what I get. I get performance mode, I get this mode, I get this, and that's it. I don't want FOV sliders and all. I don't want all that. I don't like it. Like I said, I know for some people it's fine. That's great, but I just want basic graphic options, you know? Like, you know, maybe they can put an FOV slider, maybe, but I don't need like a million different things. Like, I don't want to have to like benchmark, like Black Myth Wukong. I have to sit there and like benchmark my PC and see where I can play it, and it's just like, I just got tired of it. I'm like, I don't want to do all this. Like, it's not like, none of these games are good enough for me to do all this. Now, if every game was as good as Chrono Trigger, then I wouldn't mind tweaking and you know, bending around corners like I was, you know, Jello balls. I wouldn't mind swerving around corners and, you know, tweaking and doing all this type of stuff. But every game is not good enough for me to sit down and do all that. Like, the games are just not good enough for me to spend that amount of time. There ain't nothing that's out, Nintendo included, that's gonna tell me to say, oh, I gotta just sit there and tweak a bunch of stuff or do all. No, I don't want to do all that. So, and I know not every game requires that, but I'm just saying I don't want it to even be an option. It should just be like, oh, simple graphics, performance, this, and that's it, you know? And maybe like a couple other options, and that's it, you know? But like, my last year of trying PC gaming, like Black Myth Wukong, and that's a hardcore PC type game, right? Because it's way better on PC than it is on PlayStation 5. That's when I threw in the towel. Like, it was a Black Myth Wukong. What was the game that, I think maybe you guys know, what was the game that made me just say, I think it was Pow World and Black Myth Wukong. Both of those games, I was just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm done with this, you know? So yeah. If it had 60 FPS, I consider upgrading handheld Skyrim from time to time is awesome. Yeah, if it was 60 FPS, I might have downloaded it and put up like some footage, but yeah, without that 60, I'm good. I had a Lenovo Legion Go and it was awesome, but I can't stand the tweaking for like 45 minutes to play a game. You can't suspend games. And I think the problem too with like tweak, sometimes like you have to actually like boot out of the game, right, to tweak the settings. Like if you tweak the settings, like you have to like restart the game, like restart the whole application. So yeah, I'm good on all that too. So yeah. Starfield? No, I never had Starfield on PC. I only had Starfield on Xbox Series X. Even the audio's a nightmare on those docks. Good to know regarding the Persona running better on the deck though. Yeah, like to be honest, like the thing that happened to me was back in 2023. I got a Steam Deck dock, right? And it wasn't the official dock. I got the dock that everyone said worked just like the official dock. And I'm like, okay, cool. I hooked it up and I put it on there. Nothing came up. And I'm like, okay. And then I put it on there and I'm like, let me see. Let me just change it here. And then let me go to the PC mode. For some reason, it was like beaming back and forth between the HDMI setup I had and like the PC. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I never really got it to work properly, where every time that I put it on, it would dock and it would instantly beam to the TV. I had to constantly like go off of one HDMI, go back to the HDMI, press something on my Steam Deck. Like, it never worked like a Switch 1. Now, I did get it to kind of show sometimes, but it wasn't instant. It was always like there was something. So that's the reason why I was like, okay, yeah, this is not good. This is not for me. Now, like I said, if I did like, you know, Jello ball swerving and tweaking and bending around corners, I probably could have got it. Maybe I'm just stupid, okay? Maybe I'm just dumb and I can't figure it stuff out, but like I just got tired of it. I just want it to be instant because like I said, I'm lazy when it comes to that type of stuff. I don't want there to be any type of stuff where I gotta tweak and, you know, fandangle and all this other stuff. I don't want to do all that. I'm too lazy. So, like I said before, I get this donation. I'm the hardest working lazy person ever. When it comes to stuff that I'm passionate about, that I want to do, bro, I'll work hard at it. When it comes to stuff that is like with gaming, no, gaming's like my own gaming time is lazy time. Now, if it's a game that I'm trying to play for you guys, I'll do whatever. I'll tweak and turn to bend, swerve corners. If I have to stream, oh yeah, I'll do whatever I can to get it going. I don't care, because that's work. But if it's my own time, I have no patience. I have zero patience on my own time, like zero. If something doesn't instantly work and work well, I'm out. I'm gone. You know, it's got to be instant on my own time, because I don't have a lot of my own time. I don't. So for me, there can be no tweaking and swerving. It's got to work instantly and simple. I value that more than anything, you know. That's it with the $5 dono. Yeah, I think Expedition 33 will come to Switch 2 at some point. Gotta bring the finishing touch here. Limit Breakers. Great evening, OJ. Hopefully all is well. Just request a Super Metroid any track. All right, I got you. Super Metroid. Super Metroid. Thank you for the $5. And we've got the combo break, and we've got the limit break. Here we go. So lower Brinstar. Shout outs, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate the big dono from Vincent 101 on the board. See if we can get the platinum and a half. Ayo.
Even further beyond.
Appreciate that, guys. The other Oro Switch 2 over Steam Deck is the peace of mind the supported games will optimize for PC ports. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Like, I don't want to have to worry about the stuff. Maybe does it work? Little yellow exclamation marks. It does support, but you need to, you got to swerve and bend around corners. Like, I don't want to have to worry about that. If a game comes out for Switch 2, it's made for the system. Could be a shoddy port, could not be, but for the most part, it's usually going to be decent enough to where it's going to be simple and it works. I grab the cartridge, pop the cartridge inside the Switch 2, and it works just fine. There's no issue whatsoever. Heck, this Switch 1 game, I can take this Switch 1 game, I can take out this cart, I can pop it into the Switch 2, boom, it works, no issue whatsoever. Now, there are some games that have had some issues, but for the most part, everything works as intended. I love MP4. It's going to be Game of the Year. It's going to be Game of the Year next year for sure. At the Game Awards? Absolutely not. I don't think it's even going to get nominated for anything. Oh, is the new Pokemon DLC's out? Nice. I have to get to that. I haven't. I got to finish Hyrule Warriors. Before I get the Pokemon DLC, I got to finish Hyrule Warriors. I got to finish Metroid Prime 4. Excuse me. If Club Obscure comes to Switch 2, it has to be 60 FPS game, in my opinion, for the combat to feel good. Yeah, 30 FPS probably won't feel that great because of how fast the response time needs to be. So what I'm guessing, if they did bring it to Switch 2, is that they'll do a 30-60 split. They could do that, where it's 30 in the overworld and 60 in the game. There's also DLSS that can render it at a pretty low resolution, and they can remove graphical features in the combat, like the surrounding areas, to get it at 60. But I mean, it's a turn-based game, so to me that one wouldn't be a problem necessarily in terms of if you have to do some cutbacks to get it running at 60. If I'm not correct, it runs at 60 on Xbox Series S as well. But usually games like Clair Obscur, those are not usually CPU intensive games. Those are usually GPU, because Clair Obscur is, once again, it's a turn-based RPG, so it's not like you have a bunch of AI that are all communicating and doing different things at one point that might stress a CPU, kind of like a persistent world like Skyrim, for example, persistent world, or like Grand Theft Auto, or like Star Wars Outlaws, or like Assassin's Creed. Those have persistent worlds that constantly load assets, that constantly have AI that are interacting and doing different things. Clair Obscur is very segmented. It's very segmented. It's very, okay, load up the battle screen. Here's what's there. In the overworld, here's what's happening here. Very low amount of enemies in the overworld, so I think that they can probably get that running at 60. So yeah. Let's see here. Just beat Metroid Prime 4 with 94%, about to play it again on hard. Trying to get 100% in hard. Wish me luck. Hey, there you go, Sam. There you go, man. There you go. That would be, dude, that's awesome. I'm glad that you're having fun. I'm gonna, for the first time in a while, I think I'm gonna actually go back and play a Metroid Prime game. I usually don't replay them. I usually don't replay them. But we will see. We will see what happens, you know? So yeah. We will see what happens overall. Despite all the hate, MP4 is pretty positive user score on Metacritic. Because once again, the people that are playing it say that obviously the game is great, and of course the Metacritic itself is not terrible. An 80 overall average is not a terrible score, you know. So I think some people are acting like 80 is like a 50 for some reason. So it's not like everyone thinks the game is terrible that reviewed the game too. We also have to factor that in. The game reviewed okay. It's just not as high as previous numbered Metroid Prime games. I've been hooked to playing Prime 4 in handheld mode before bed. The game is so immersive. Oh yes. Oh, you put the headphones in. I got these bad boys. Oh, sorry about that, guys. What happened? I think something fell. Give me 1 second. What did fall? I don't know what fell. Something fell, but I don't really know what fell. Anyway, I got these bad boys for handheld portable mode. Shout outs to Atlas with these Sony. What are these? These Sonys. I forgot what these are, but these are like one of the latest Sony headsets. But man, you put these on. These are noise canceling, surround sound headphones. You put these on. Put an ambient light overall. And plug these babies into your Switch 2, the 3D audio. Woo! Man, this was crazy. I've done this a few times with portable mode, and it's crazy good, bro. The audio is like hitting you. So yeah, these are Sony. I think these are X. I forgot what they are. Atlas sent them to me, but I forgot what they are. I don't know, and I don't think it says it on here anywhere. But yeah, let me double check to see. Yeah, I don't think they say it, but they're Persona 3 branded. Like they're like special Persona 3 branded ones from Atlas. But yeah, these are wild. These are so good. They make your ears kind of hot though because of all the tech and everything that they build in. But yeah, they're comfortable and they're really good, man. They are super, super good, and it just really makes the audio shine in Metroid Prime 4, which the audio design in this game is wild. You know, it's really good audio design. So yeah. Yeah, WX somethings. Yeah, WX somethings. I forgot what those are. I have Sennheiser 800 headphones, and area headphones prices dropped now, but they were 1,800 when they released each. Whew! You spent that much on those? Oh no, I can't ever spend that much. That's too much for me. It's too much. I'll wait for Atlas to send me some. I think these headphones are like $200 or $200 to $300. So nowhere near the quality of those ones. I want to see more Switch 2 games running utilize 40 FPS. The 120 hertz screen isn't big deal for 120 FPS. It's a deal. It's a big deal if it makes 40 FPS possible. Yeah, definitely like to see that. I think as the Switch 2, you know, gets more and more people getting comfortable with developing for it, we're gonna see more 40 FPS games and more developers taking advantage of it. And I'm interested to see if more developers will be able to like turn off, like maybe like disable game chat, like video game chat, and only make it audio, so that frees up more resources for the games too. I think that might also be an option. If MP4 gets nominated for an award next year, I think it would have to be Best Audio Design. It's not going to get nominated for anything, just because the reviewers don't care about Metroid Prime 4. Like, a lot of them don't care about it, and they're not. I mean, it's like I said, if it was a PS5 game, it'd probably have like 5 or 6 more points higher, and it'd probably get nominated for things. But the fact that it's a Switch 2 game, not a lot of reviewers have a Switch 2. A lot of reviewers, or they only have like a review unit at work. They don't have the system itself. A lot of people, like I said, you got to remember with the Game Awards, guys, the people that are voting on this, a lot of it are just PlayStation 5 people. They're just people, PC and PlayStation. That's their main platform, is PC and PlayStation. So when you're looking at games that are exclusive to Switch 2, or even Switch 1 back then, but Switch 2, you got to factor in that a lot of these people just don't play the games. They just don't play them, and it doesn't really matter how good or not the games are. They don't play them. The game has to be overtly good in an area for Nintendo, for it to be nominated for anything. So for an example of this is Donkey Kong Bonanza. It was nominated for Game of the Year because of the review score that it had, but it wasn't nominated for anything in terms of, like, you know, audio or technical or any. It wasn't nominated for anything else outside of that. You know, so that just shows you, like I said, there's a lot of people who don't play it. Obviously, the people that are in the know, they played it because it was rated really good. So yeah, it's gonna get the nod for Game of the Year because of the Metacritic score. But for everything else, a lot of people didn't play the game, so it's not gonna get nominated for anything. Same thing like with like Xenoblade Chronicles. If you notice with Nintendo games, it's the most obvious things that anybody, even if you played it or not, will nominate the games for. Look at Xenoblade Chronicles 3. What did it get nominated for? RPG of the Year, duh, it's an RPG. Game of the Year, okay, well, yeah, duh, it was one of the best rated games of the year. It was like right behind Elden Ring. There wasn't that many games rated better than Xenoblade Chronicles 3, so yeah, duh. Music, okay, yeah, we know that there's music in the game. Like, we know that the music is good. You can hear some of it from there, but they didn't listen to all the tracks because they gave God of War. That game, Ragnarok, has like 20 tracks. They gave it to God of War. Anybody who sat down and listened, or if you played the game, you would know that Xenoblade Chronicles 3's soundtrack laps God of War's in tone and style and frequency of the music, in everything, in the amount of tracks. Like, it's a joke, right? It's a little bit of a joke. Not that God of War Ragnarok's music is bad, but when you only have 20 something tracks of good tracks compared to 120 good tracks, I mean, come on now, right? So it was a joke. They never played it. So of course, I mean, like, it's gonna be for the most basic, obvious, you know, categories, and that's it. They're not going to nominate it for anything more intricate or in-depth than just what is on the surface of what they can see from reviews. It's never going to be like, oh, you have to play the game to find out that stuff, right? Like game direction, things like that. Nintendo games are almost never going to be nominated for those type of things because most of the people voting on the panel don't play. So how can you know about the soundtrack, or how can you know about the whatever when you didn't play the game? So that's the reason why you'll see like a game get nominated for Game of the Year, like Donkey Kong Bonanza, but not be nominated for anything else but Family Game. Okay, yeah, it's Family Game. There's a little girl in there singing. Yeah, families can play. There's a little 2-player mode. Oh yeah, that's great for families. Look at it. Looks cute, right? So that's the reason why. And, you know, and even if you look at like Breath of the Wild, right? Breath of the Wild was not nominated for that many things. Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year, but it wasn't like it was nominated for like 18 different things. Like if you look at like Control or Death Stranding or some of these other games, they were nominated way more than Breath of the Wild, right? Breath of the Wild, apparently way better game, right? But it was not nominated a million different times for different stuff, right? So you got to remember, guys, a lot of these people don't actually play. They just simply look at it from the surface. And in order for a Nintendo game or a Switch exclusive to win Game of the Year, it's got to be head and shoulders above the rest of the games. Like, it's got to be like, okay, this game is generational masterpiece, you know, and that's gonna, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna win. Like, it does things that's not been done before, ever, you know. that's the only way. And it's got to have and it's got to compete against other games that simply just didn't get that type of score, which we almost have a game that always gets that type of score every year. So that's why Breath of the Wild won it. But Nintendo's only won once. They've only won one Game of the Year since they've been doing it. They've had multiple nominees, which is good, but they've only won it once. So I don't expect Nintendo to have any big announcements, or I don't expect them to win a lot of awards at the Game Awards. Because once again, most of the people that are playing and voting they're not playing Nintendo stuff, you know. So yeah. It was pretty strange how Astrobot was nominated for a million things, but Bonanza wasn't at all. Well, once again, the reviewers all played Astrobot. Astrobot was a highly played game, not by the actual people that have a PS5, not by the actual users, but by the reviewers. Oh yeah, they all played it, of course. So yeah. But Astrobot deserved its nominations. Like, I don't think Astrobot didn't deserve its nominations. It won its, but it got its nominations because people played the game. You know, that's the reason why it got its nominations, because people played it. The thing with nominations is that if they don't play, you're not gonna get nominated. That's it. You're not gonna get nominated. So like I said, a lot of Nintendo games don't get nominated for a lot of things, even if they're really good. You know, a Mario Odyssey, a Breath of the Wild. They're not going to get, like, even if their scores are high, 97, 90, whatever, it's probably going to get less nominations than games that are rated way lower than it for a variety of different reasons. Some of them valid, some of them not, you know? At least Nintendo's doing better. I mean, that's true, yeah. At least they're doing better than Xbox, which barely gets nominated for, you know, that. But, like, I'm not salty or bitter about it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fault anybody for it. You know, that's just, listen, most of the time with these award shows, they're not really, like, people don't have the time or don't want to play everything. So I don't expect it to be, you know, completely fair or to be a completely certain type of, you know, way. I'm not expecting that when it comes down to it, you know? So yeah, like I said, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's not like it's a big problem or anything like that, you know? I don't mind it at all. I mean, I have my opinion, but I don't mind it. It's not like it's like, oh man, these people suck. It's like, okay, it is what it is. I've already accepted that. I think 2019 was the year of the reckoning for me. I think somebody clipped me too. I forgot what channel, but somebody clipped me where I was like, oh yeah, it doesn't really matter or whatever. And then I was so shocked at the nominees. I could not believe it, you know? I couldn't believe it because it was like, Astral Chain got nominated for nothing. Fire Emblem Three Houses got nominated for pretty much nothing. Devil May Cry got nominated for barely and wasn't in the game. Like, all the games that were literally rated higher and had so many great things, Death Stranding and Control just mogged all of them. Just absolutely walloped all of these games that, by all accounts, I played Death Stranding, I played, you know, Control. Those games were not better than Devil May Cry 5, than Fire Emblem Three Houses, than Astral Chain. Those games were rated better too. So it wasn't like it was like a small amount. It was like, oh, Astral Chain's like an 87, you know, 88. Devil May Cry 5's like an 89, you know, Fire Emblem's like an 89. So it wasn't like it was like, oh yeah, it's just like they're really close. So I was thinking, oh yeah, these games are gonna get nominated way more. And it was like, nope. Control, Death Stranding ate up like every single nomination, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what? So that's when I realized, okay, I know what it is now. Devil May Cry 5, Devil May Cry is not a Game Awards game. It's a stylish action game that takes a lot of skill to play. It's like Bayonetta, you know, those games don't get nominated like crazy. Okay, I get it. You know, they shunned Bayonetta before. Bayonetta was nominated for Game of the Year. It lost to Dragon Age Inquisition, which is a terrible pick. You go back and play Dragon Age Inquisition. That game has aged like hot dookie in a summer sun. That game is aged like hot dookie in a summer sun, bro. That game is aged like trash. Absolute garbage. You can go back and play Bayonetta 2 right now and be like, oh, this game is lit. This game is fun. This game is timeless. Bayonetta 2 is timeless. Timeless with the game. Not Dragon Age. That game plays like hot trash. So I think that's really what we're looking at here. You know, what we're looking at here, we're looking at, a lot of the reviewers just didn't have a Wii U at the time to play Bayonetta. A lot of reviewers don't play Switch like that. They might have them, but they don't play it, you know? So I think that's really what it comes down to. These are not official numbers, Artisan James. This is from Paul Gale, and this is from Nintendo Prime that are reporting the numbers for the Switch 2 at this point. But we'll get the official numbers in February. Which it should be higher. I mean, if this is true that it's actually at 15 million, then they should probably be higher by the end of, I think it's like the end of the financial year would be October, November, December. So they should be higher than 15 million by when they report their numbers in February. Yes, Astral Chain, Platinum Games, Bayonetta 2 got robbed. No clue how TGS gets any prestige when everyone agrees it's boring and terrible show full of stupid controversies every year. Well, because it's watched by so many people. The Wonderful 101. Like, so many people watch the show. It is so popular that Amazon gave Keeley a deal this year. That's how big this show is. They gave him a bag, you know, to put it on Amazon Prime. So if you want to watch the show, you can just watch it via Amazon Prime. Like, you can watch it on your TV now at this point. That's how big the show is. So that's the reason why. Because, like, people just watch it. It's the only show that... There's no competition. It's the only award show for gaming. Jeff Keighley was able to... you know, work his way through the industry. I'm not going to say Jeff Keighley didn't earn it, because I've seen Jeff Keighley's career from the beginning. A lot of you guys don't remember Jeff Keighley because like you just know him as the Game Awards guy, right? But Jeff Keighley has been around for a long time. I actually like Jeff. I know I make Black Keighley and I made some jokes here and there and I might not think of it, But Jeff Keighley actually inspired me to do what I'm doing right now. Jeff Keighley had a show called G4TV.com where he would sit down with these two other chicks. I think they work at Microsoft now, but the two other, like one punk looking chick and one other girl, I think her name was Tina. And they would sit there and do exactly kind of what I'm doing right now. They would sit down and talk about video games to themselves, but then also, I guess they had like comments on G4 and they would address some comments and stuff, but there was not live streaming like we have it, because like this was like early 2000s. But when I first saw that, and I was like, this is cool. This is like early 2000s. I'm like, whoa, what's this? And like they're sitting down in this room and they're simply debating and discussing games. Not like arguing, but they're just talking about different releases. And I'm like, wow, this is like, I like this a lot, you know? And Jeff Keighley was on that show. He did that show. He's put in the work for decades. I saw Jeff Keighley doing that groundwork on G4TV.com. Yes, he has his dad. You know, God rest his dad's soul. His dad passed away this year. That obviously was very supportive of him. And obviously, money-wise, he was able to do whatever he needed to do or get whatever he needed to get to start doing that. And whatever connections Jeff's dad had, probably had connections to help him get on TV. So I'm not going to sit here and act like his parents didn't help. But of course you want your kids to do well. Of course, if you've got money, you're going to do things to help your kids out. So that's no knock on Jeff. All you can do is try to be the best that you can be. And if you have parents that are willing to help you with that, if you can have, I don't know, what would it be? It'd be, what's that? Like nepotism? Of course they're going to take advantage of nepotism. Not everybody has it. I didn't get no damn nepotism. But that's okay. It is what it is. My parents did their best that they could to help me. I had food, I had shelter, and they bought me video games when they could. So I thank them for that. So maybe it's not to the levels of a Jeff Keighley, but it's good enough to where I did have some games to where I can develop a passion for gaming, right? My parents tried. They did the best that they could, you know? So you got to give Jeff Keighley credit for that, because he put in the work from G4 TV 20-something years ago. Sometimes nepotism kids, they don't do nothing. They're lazy. Or, kids of rich people, they're lazy. They don't want to do nothing. Jeff Keighley said, no, I'm going to get up. I'm going to interview people. I'm going to be into gaming. I'm going to be diligent in my work. I'm going to try. So you got to give him credit for that. Now, is the show perfect? Absolutely not. But nobody else was willing to do what he did, was actually try to create a legitimate show. There were competitors, there were people that tried, and it never actually turned out to be anything good. So you got to give him credit for that. You know, you got to at least give him something, you know? So yeah. Still, he did start from the bottom. No, he definitely did. I mean, he started from the bottom in a way that, yeah, nobody knew his name. And like, if he wasn't good on TV, he wouldn't have got to where he is right now. The reason why he is right now, yes, he had a supportive parents with money. Yes, his dad essentially created IMAX, for those who don't know. His dad was a big deal in the technology movie business. So his dad was like part of the creators of the IMAX. Okay, so obviously there's money involved with that. But it's not like Jeff Keighley did nothing. You know what I'm saying? He worked on G4. He worked with, back in the day before Valve was even Valve, before Steam was even Steam. He had interviews with Gabe Newell back in the day and like what they were building. He saw Steam and Valve before everybody else saw Steam and Valve, right? So he did that. He did G4TV.com, right? He did that and he was good. He was good. Like Jeff Keighley was legitimately good on G4TV.com. He was well-spoken. He knew about the games. You can tell that he played the stuff that he talked about. He went on TV and defended Mass Effect. There's an interview from I think 2007. There was some chick that was trying to, well, I think it was Fox News or I forgot who it was, but somebody tried to create like some type of controversy with Mass Effect 1 where there's like sex scenes in front of kids and stuff, which it's not that crazy, right? And Mass Effect is a mature rated game, so it's like, why are they even debating this in the first place? But you guys know how it is with that type of stuff. So Jeff Keighley had to go on TV and body this chick that was talking, that was on the anti-video game side and say like, hey, did you even play the game? You don't know what you're talking about. So we needed somebody to defend us while politicians and TV stations were attacking gaming, and Jeff Keighley always stood up and tried to help us out, so you got to give credit where credit's due. You got to give credit where credit's due on that one. Let me see if I can find that interview so we can watch it. Jeff Keighley, Mass Effect 1. Let me see if I can find it. Jeff Keighley, Mass Effect One Fox. Is it Fox News? Ah, I found it. Let's go. I found it. See, you guys see how I have a good memory? This was a long time ago, fam. Never say I don't remember things when it comes to what I need to. All right, I found it. 240p. Let's go. Fox News bashes Mass Effect 17 years ago. I found it.
Don't you understand? You've lost. Everyone you know and
So, look at what it says. Full video game shows full digital nudity and sex. What the heck? What the heck? No, it doesn't. SE Xbox? What? I mean, like, I think there's some... Gosh, I'm trying to remember. Mass Effect 1, there was a scene, yeah, there's some back nudity, maybe like a butt. But, like, I don't think there's, like, full digital nudity. Like, no, I don't think so. Trust me, if there was, I would have known. I would have known, bro. I remember when Mass Effect 2 came out, before we get into it, I remember when Mass Effect 2 came out, bro, I was gunning for Miranda the whole time. I was gunning for Miranda. When it finally happened, I was like, wow! Whoa! I did the whoa thumbnail before the whoa thumbnail was even a thing. That was 15 years ago. I did the whoa 15 years ago. So I would know. I would remember. But there wasn't full nudity in Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2 either. Like there's never been any full digital nudity.
you will all die. Let's finish this.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. I was looking at it a little bit this afternoon. It's a new role-playing video game that is leaving nothing to the imagination. Mass Effect is what it's called. It's made for Microsoft's Xbox system, and it features in some parts of this, you'll see full digital nudity. Imagine. And the ability for the players to engage in graphic sex, and the person who's playing the game gets to decide exactly what's going to happen between the two people, if you know what I mean. Now, the game is rated M for mature. However, critics say that Mass Effect is being marketed to kids and to teenagers. Microsoft responded to these claims and said that they were inaccurate. They released this statement that reads in part, "We actively support and abide by all video game rating systems and provide built-in industry-leading technology such as parental controls and a family timer that empowers parents and caregivers to monitor their children's experience with video games, notably with respect to content, online interactions, and the amount of time spent playing." Cooper Lawrence is a psychologist.
So here's the thing real quick before we get into this. Guys, with the ESRB, there are no games that are full frontal nudity and will allow you to do stuff and all that. That would get put as an AO rated game. Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo do not allow AO rated games on their platform. When a game is mature rated, there can be nudity, but there can't be any actual acts of things, because any actual act will get you an AO rating and instantly get you banned from even releasing on Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. So that right there is already a big stupidity, because once again, if a game is rated mature, that means that there's limits to what a mature rated game can be. So yeah, there's also that too.
Specialist, radio talk show host, and the author of the new book, The Cult of Perfection. And Jeff Keighley is a game expert with Spike TV. Welcome to both of you. You know, Cooper, it sort of cracks me up whenever I hear a company say that, you know, there's all these controls in there that you can monitor the time and you can, you know, but basically Pandora's box is open. I mean, kids have access to these things, and unless you're hovering over them every second, they're going to find ways to see this stuff on the internet. How damaging is it really?
Well, the thing is, you know, it's the whole concept of, like, 13-year-olds have never seen Playboy because they're not supposed to. It's that idea that, I mean, let's talk about who the video game is for. It might be for adults, but if you look at the statistics, who is playing video games but adolescent males, not their dads? So that's the first thing. The damage is this. We know that all the research shows that violence has a desensitizing effect. Well, sexuality does too, because this is when the developing mind is happening. This is when they're first deciding who they're going to be, who their identity is. This is when social development is happening. And here's how they're seeing women. They're seeing them as these objects of desire, as these, you know, hot bodies. I mean, they don't show women as being valued for anything other than their sexuality. And
So okay, so the first problem that I have with this, which Keighley is gonna Keely is going to get in it on this and talk about it. But the first problem is that that's not even what the game does. If you want to have a relationship with any of the characters in the game, you've got to work on it. Bro, it takes all game. The funniest thing is that they do the best job. I don't know how long it takes you to clap bare cheeks in Baldur's Gate, but it takes all game. I went with Liara the first time, and it took literally by the end of the game, I think in Mass Effect 2, like before like the end of the last mission, so they actually make it to where you need to talk with them, you need to hang out. If you don't talk with them, and if you don't answer the right questions, and if you don't build a relationship with them over the course of many missions, many times, there will be no relationship. You literally, you can skip it. If you don't talk to Liara in her little scientific bunker that she's in, every single time in between a mission, every new mission, you will not get the option for her to do that. Because the more that you talk to her, the more that you dig deeper into who she is, how she is, her, or maybe, you know, some of her family or what happened to her. And then she'll kind of get like, she'll kind of make it seem as if, hey, are you trying to like hit on me? But like, I heard you talking like, you know, to somebody else. Like they'll even bring up other girls, or if you're a guy, other guys that you're talking, or if you're a girl, other guys, or if you're a guy, other girls. They'll even bring up other people. So even if you're talking in like a flirtatious way to Ashley and to Liara, they'll find out about it and they will question you. Hey, I heard you're talking to that person. Is there anything there? What's going on? And you have to make a decision. So this lady is saying, oh, they're just seeing it as that. No, if anything, Mass Effect shows you, one, you can't be a cheater, okay? You can't be cheating on people because they'll find out. They'll find out if you're talking to somebody else, they'll find out. And two, it takes you all game, which would be 10, 20 hours, however long. It takes you all game, and you have to be persistent. They don't just like you from the beginning. They don't, oh, you're Shepard. Oh, you know, let's do something. You got to actually work on it. And that's every single Mass Effect game. The payoff is at the very end, after many missions, after a lot of stress, and then, okay, now there's something, right? So yeah. The thought process here is dumb. And then once again, it comes from somebody who hasn't played, but I don't blame her because that's how it was presented to her, you know?
It's a man in this game deciding how many women he wants to be with.
All right, let's get Jeff in on this.
All right, that's
go ahead,
completely
Jeff.
incorrect. Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
completely incorrect. First of all, you can actually play as a man or a woman in the game. Cooper, have you ever played Mass Effect?
No.
Right, well, I think the fact is you talked about, you know, another thing that you mentioned is that how it's, you know, has full graphic nudity. That's completely incorrect. There's no full nudity in this game. There's the side of an alien boob which can be seen. It's a small sexual situation in this game, which is about 2 minutes out of a 30-plus hour experience
And
to
Jeff, let me
destroy this
ask you
character,
something.
Commander Shepard.
Jeff, let me ask you a question. I have not played this game. I went on the website today. I clicked on a lot of different trailers. I tried to learn as much about it as I could before we did this. You know, it's interesting. When you click on it, it asks you your age. It says you must go through a scanning process. So I thought, oh, this is going to take forever. Okay, so I put in my age, and then, boom, you're in, no problem. So that is a pretty easy screen to get past. There's nothing graphic that I saw on the front, you know, the pages that I looked at on the internet. But it does beg the question, you know, what it does to kids in terms of how they think about violence and sexuality, because they're, you know, engaged and blowing people away in these.
Well, I think what's interesting about this, we talk about, you know, sexuality in the media. One of the great things about Mass Effect, for people that have played it know this is a sort of a choose-your-own-adventure story, and it doesn't force you down any situation. You can actually play through this game without the sexual situation ever happening.
Right, and the
inside
young
the
boys
game.
are going to be choosing not to have sex. That'll be what they'll choose. I mean,
No,
let's be
because
realistic
it's not
here.
a simple choice, but Cooper, it's not a simple choice. You don't turn to the game and says, would you like to have sex or not? It's through the evolution of a relationship with characters, and the fact that this game has incredible artificial intelligence, and you can actually fall in love in this game, and it's just like modeling your life, and I think that's a much more powerful form of media.
Darlin,
to
I
be
got to
able
go with the
play through a game.
research, and the research says there's a new study out of University of Maryland right now that says that boys that play video games cannot tell the difference between what they're seeing in a video game in the real world if they don't have a real experience.
All right, Jeff,
Well, I
thank
think
you. It's
you're completely
it's a fascinating
misrepresenting the game.
game, and I'm just amazed at just the, you know.
See, I mean, he didn't really get much time to talk. They started cutting him off before you say it. But yeah, he was correct about the fact that it's not, you can't just turn it on and just say, so this is what I'm talking about. Like you guys know this Fox News skit was stupid, but what I'm talking about is that this was 17 years ago, and they're dragging Keely out from Spike TV. Keely's got to come up in front of everybody and obviously get cut off when it comes to things, and he's got to defend it. So this is why I respect Keely. because he's not like he's getting paid for this, right? It's not like he's just doing it because he's trying to show people like what's the actual truth is about the game and all that, you know? So you got to respect people, the OGs, because while a lot of us were sitting there eating glue, some of you guys were eating party, man, y'all were eating glue. You guys were scribbling crayons 17, 20 years ago. You guys were writing on walls and drinking lunch boxes. You know what I'm saying? Or drinking juice out of lunch boxes. Jeff Keighley was on Fox News defending video games. What was I doing? I was going. I was an adult in doing that. I wasn't even a kid. I was an adult going football, football, Madden, football, Michael Jordan. That's what I was doing. I wasn't on Fox News defending video games 20 years ago. Jeff Keighley was. So I was just being an idiot. I wasn't doing anything important 20 years ago. That was me. Football. Yeah, that's all I was doing. So we got to give some credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I respect Jeff Keighley. I'll watch his show, whatever the case is, you know? I wasn't doing anything important. He's out here defending Mass Effect 1. You know, I saw this skit, or I saw this, not skit, I just call it a skit. I saw this thing on TV. I think I was actually flipping the channels, and I think I saw it at one point. I was like, what? I think I actually watched it, and then I saw it later. They uploaded to, like, game trailers, and then people started uploading it, like, on N4G and things like that. So, yeah. Shout outs to Jeff. Let's see here. I remember the interview because I was so obsessed with Mass Effect. Yeah, I was so obsessed with Mass Effect as well. I was like super obsessed with Mass Effect. So this happened in the interview apparently was around 2018. It was January 2018. I know Mass Effect came out in November, or I know it was the fall 2007. So I remember I came home from holiday break. I think it was Thanksgiving. I came home, or it was Christmas. One of those two. I think it was Thanksgiving. I remember I picked up Mass Effect. I was in Fresno. I picked up Mass Effect. I drove back home to just like to hang out with family, and like for I think Thanksgiving. And my friend Big Ben came over, and man, it was so good. I remember we played Wii Sports, and then he left, and then I played Mass Effect all night. I was like, oh my god, this game is freaking incredible. This game is so good. So yeah, it was fun. It's more nuanced than each side presents. Yes, there's content that is age sensitive, but parents need to take responsibility for what their children's play. Parental controls have come a long way. I think that once again, it's one of those things to where if you're talking about a game that's for, you know, if it's a mature rated game, a kid can't buy a mature rated game. So it's one of those things to where kids can't buy that. So the parent would have to buy it for them. You know, here in the US at least, you got to be 17 years old to buy the game. And I remember back in the day when I was buying games, they would definitely card me. Back in the day, if the game, like after the whole ESRB thing in 1994 or whatever, when it was created, like they legitimately would card you. Like if you were not old enough, you'd have to have a parent there and they would not sell that game to you. Now, maybe it was different at mom and pop shops or other places, but when I would go to Funko Land or when I would go to GameStop or when I go to KB Toys or whatever, like if I bought a game and it was mature rated, like they would check my ID. Like, until I was old enough to the point to where, obviously, I was older than 17. Like, I looked it. But when I was younger than 17, they would legitimately check. They would check and say, okay, I got to check. And I'd have to have a parent there. Like, I'd have to go with my mom, or I'd have to go with, I remember one time I went with my friend Turtle. We went and, you know, I think when we were in, like, oh, I forgot what age we were, but it was obviously before 17. Like, we wanted, like, Resident Evil or something. Like, yeah, they're like, no, we got to. And the guy was like, oh, you know it's mature rated, right? There's, like, mature themes. And, like, he was, so, yeah, like, they check, bro. You know, so yeah. Oh, music volume's high. Okay, my bad. Yeah, the music volume's really high. Sorry about that. Let me lower it. Sorry about that. All I gotta say is that movies, even popular ones with more explicit content than Mass Effect showed. Oh yeah, movies are even worse. Movies are like way worse than anything in like a video game for the most part. Like in most games, or Mass Effect for sure. I bought GTA Vice City at 15. That turned out to be a disaster when my mom found out. The people that sold it to you, that's the disaster. The people that actually sold you the game, that's their fault, because they should have never sold that to you. They should have never sold that to you at all, you know? That was me when GTA 5 came out back in 2013. I needed my brother to come with me so I could get it. Good times. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I got dented. I got denied buying 8 Mile because I didn't have ID on you. Man, tried to get some 8 Mile. Was like, no, you're gonna have to go back to 8 Home. Yeah, you earned this place in the industry, man. So you got to give him some love. Obviously there's some things that I don't like. You know, there's some things that aren't great, but I mean, that's with anybody. There's things that I don't like in terms of what I do here. I'm pretty sure I could do better things here. So nobody's perfect. Overall, like when it comes to stuff like that, nobody's perfect. Everybody has their own things that are good and bad, and you know, stuff like that. So you know, that's what I'll say with that one. You know, that's what I'll say there. It's like it's like I said, like Jackson said, it's nuanced, man. Like it's a really nuanced thing. Like it's not like you can have every time. There are some things that are obviously not good in the game industry can do better, but in that particular case, like the lady obviously didn't know what was going on with the game. You know, she was just brought in because of her work that she did beforehand. You know, those were the days, though, man. Those were the days, man. Those were the good old days. Oh man, dude, those are the good old days. It happens. So yeah. Make sure you guys hit that like button, though. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Let them know that we are streaming. We do have about 15 minutes plus left, guys. About 15 minutes or so. So make sure if you guys have questions, tag me at PlayerEssence, hashtag PlayerEssence by itself. Also, real quick, we're at 123 likes. It would be great if we got to 150 likes within the next 15 minutes. So let's see if we can do that. All right, guys. Let's see if we can get that going. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Looking back at the news interview, Jeff hasn't aged a day. Got to be a vampire. Well, no, he looks a lot younger, but yeah, I see what you're saying, but no, he looks significantly older. Or sorry, did I say younger? He looks significantly old. I wouldn't say significantly older, but he definitely looks older. But I will say this, he had a stretch where he did look super, super young for a hot minute, you know, or for like where he looked young for a while. But yeah, he definitely looks more his age now than I think he looks more of his age now than he did like 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, like when he was when he was like 40, because I think he's about to be 50. I think he's like 40 something. I don't know, how old is Jeff Keighley? I think he's like in his mid 40s. I forgot exactly. Let's see. Wait, hold up. Let me double check. Oh, let me get that dono in just a bit too. I'll get that dono in just a bit. Jeff Keighley is, I think he's 46 or 47. 47. There we go. He was born in 78. So he's 47 years old, turning 48 next year. So he's 48. He's turning 48. He's 47, turning 48. So I mean, like, he definitely looks like he's. I mean, it's not bad. I've seen people that look 47, like nearly 50, that look worse. So he looks okay. He looks good, but obviously you can tell he doesn't drink and doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink or smoke heavily. He doesn't do drugs. You can tell he's probably never touched any drugs in his life. That's how usually people are. That's why when I tell people my age, they're like, "Oh man, you look a lot younger, you look good, or you look the same for a very long amount of time." I've looked exactly like this for a long amount of time, you know, because like that's how you can tell. Like I said, don't do drugs, don't drink. But yeah, he looked a lot younger back then. He looked a lot younger. But yeah, I feel you on that one though. I know exactly. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But he looked a specific way for a really long time, from like the age of like 30 to like he was like, I'd probably say like 40. Or not, I probably say like 20s to like 40. He looked exactly the same. Like, and then like now he obviously has a little bit of gray. His hair isn't as brown as it used to be. You know, just like other things, other little things. But yeah, he looks great for his age. He does look. I mean, he's nearly 50, and we look the same age. You know, so yeah. George FT with the $9.99 as prices. I think Nintendo's games aren't necessarily meant for TJ outside of certain exceptions. They don't develop games that core audiences would look at and as a pinnacle of games. Yeah, they're really gameplay focused games. I agree, George FT. That's a very good comment. I think that's the reason why. That's part of the reason why they don't get as much love at the TGAs is because of that. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Mr. Davis? I can see your comments now. What's good? Want to replay? Dude, if you guys want to play Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Mass Effect Legend, like fantastic. Just get that one. That one's so good. You know. You can keep me sane at work. Hey, no problem, Julie Austin. Thanks for coming out to the stream. Today is his 46th B-Day. It says that his birthday is... Hey, what's up, Beat Queen? Welcome. How are you doing today, young lady? It says that his birthday is June 24th, 1978. So, I don't know. Maybe there's some disagreement on that in terms of that. But I mean, like, yeah. It says June 24th, 1978. That's his birthday. June 24th. So yeah. I burnt the candles at both ends when I was young. Jeff is listed as a developer on Steam. He has 4 documentary games. He's not quite a developer, but I mean, I know he's done some stuff there. Shout outs though, Beat Queen. How you doing today, young lady? What is that? What is that profile picture? Looks cool. I expect when people embrace the aging instead of going under the knife. Yeah, I don't ever see myself doing anything crazy like that. You know, I'll just use my skincare products, and when if I look super old, and I look super old, it is what it is. You know. I don't really worry about that type of stuff. Do I think Mass Effect is coming to Switch 2? I don't know, because of EA is in like really weird situation right now because of the whole buyout that they had, you know, and so I just don't know if that's like a thing, you know. So yeah. Just don't know if that's actually a thing. So yeah. Let's see here. Oh, never mind. I read it wrong when I looked up his age earlier. Okay, no, it's all good, Beat Queen. Yeah, it's all good. I thought maybe there was like a different listing or something like that. You're just Snow. I love this guy. Snow says you're just gonna have to play Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U. You can't even play that same Mass Effect game. They didn't even bother to put Mass Effect on the Switch 1. Like, they could have put Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 on Switch 1. They're like, yeah, we're not gonna do that either. You know, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if they're going to. I'm not sure if they're gonna do all that. You know, I'm not sure if they're gonna do all that type of stuff. So yeah, I don't see it. You know, I don't see it being necessarily being like a thing overall. So yeah. Evan Science will be performing, and Miss Piggy will be presenting at the Game Awards, 2025 Game Awards. Yes, I did see the Miss Piggy thing, which was funny. But it's my first party revealed at TGA's, but I'm hoping to see some third-party game announcements for Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, I don't know how many third-party things they're gonna be. Like I said, the TGA's are such a Microsoft and Sony event. You know, third-party Microsoft Sony event. So yeah, I just don't see. I don't see that as like a thing, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I think that there will be. Okay, hold up. There will be actual. You know, there will be some third-party announcements. There will be some. So I don't think you're saying that there's going to be a ton. I'm just saying I'm not expecting. Here we go, Jackson. What you're saying is correct. There's going to be some. I'm just not expecting a bunch of third-party announcements because Nintendo still has their directs, and there's a lot of third-party games that are announced at the directs, like specialized. So yeah. Let's see here. I wonder if there will be a world premiere. A Microsoft world premiere. Microsoft has like 5 billion world premieres that none of the games ever come out. Y'all notice that with Microsoft events sometimes? I remember I watched the whole event, world premiere, and I didn't play a single game. Like, I don't know if any of them actually came out, what happened to them. I need to go back and look, because you could have sworn Microsoft released 75 new games over the last 2 years, apparently. But I remember watching Microsoft's events and being world premiere, new game, world premiere. And then, like, I don't know if it just fades into oblivion, if it just actually comes out and I miss it. But apparently they've had more world premieres of more games than anybody in the world over the last 5 years. And I guess I just missed it all. I don't know. But there would always be like those events you'd be watching, world premiere. There'd be like Clock Tower Revolution. Where is it? Clock Tower, where is it? Where is it at? World premiere. Perfect Dark. Game's dead. World premiere. Fable. Where's Fable? They've been taking all generation. What do you mean? There ain't nothing. A world premiere. Like, there's all these world premieres that I ain't played a single thing. World premiere. Elder Scrolls. You bought it. It's not coming out anytime soon. It's like, bro, it's like every time, man. Time for Persona 6 announcement. Oh, that'd be crazy. Still waiting for Fable. World premiere. And then, like, you never see the game again. It's literally, never see it again. It's done. It's done. Yeah, every 5 seconds, big world premiere. I remember, I forgot which one it was, what E3 it was, but Phil Spencer came like, this is our biggest, most best portfolio of games ever in Xbox Studios. Bro, my Xbox, there ain't a damn thing that I bought for my Xbox. Not a single thing I've bought that I've been like, oh, world premiere. Like, what? And I know that they're out there, guys. Okay, this is jokes. This is not serious, so don't take it, like, serious. But I'm just saying, like, it feels that way. Like, it feels that way. I'm not saying that it is. It feels that way. You know? World premiere. What if Fable gets canceled? What if it does? I don't think it will, but what if it does? For Nintendo announcements only a few months from release, yeah. Most of the time they'll announce it then close to the game. But sometimes some of them get kind of lost in the sauce. But yeah. What's up, Wheezy Does It? Welcome. I don't know why, but I have this gut feeling that the reveals are not going to be that exciting. I mean, is that a gut feeling, or that's like going off of actual, like, evidence? That's just going off of what we've gotten before in the past. Like, what were all the oh my gosh announcements from the Game Awards that were like lit and like you said, oh my gosh, this is a great announcement, and then like you played the game in like a decent amount of time after the announcement? Can anybody like, name anything over the decade plus that this show has been out? Has there been anything like, oh my gosh, they made this announcement and then it came out shortly after and it was lit, that you didn't already see like 15 other times at other shows, or like at at Microsoft or Sony's events or whatever, or at the company did their own? Like, so it's like the Game Awards, it's cool to have announcements, but there's nothing that's ever memorable. The only ones that are memorable are things that you would expect for me at least, things that you would expect at a Nintendo Direct. They announced Bravely Default 2. That is something that, okay, that'd be like at a Nintendo Direct, right? Okay, that was an announcement. They announced Marvel Ultimate Alliance exclusive to the Switch. Okay, that would be at a Nintendo Direct. So those ones are memorable to me, but those happened a long time ago, and they came up within a timely fashion. You know, like, they announced, I think, Bravely Default in, like, 2019? I think it was either 2019 or 2018, and then those came out, like, within a year or so. I think Bravely Default 2 was 2020. I forgot exactly when, or it might have been 2020 show, whatever. I know that there wasn't a long time between when they announced Bravely Default 2 and when it came out. Same with Marvel Ultimate Alliance, you know? A lot of the big best announcements of the Game Awards are stuff that's like a CG trailer or whatever, and then you don't get it for a hot minute. You don't know when it's even coming out, so yeah. I sold my Series X 2 weeks ago. Now I just play on PC and Switch 2 because I'm over Xbox BS after 20 years. I've had enough! I'm selling it! Was that you? Or was that me exaggerating, Wheezy? That was me when I sold my Steam Deck. I was like, I'm over you, Gaben. I'm over you. Had weirdos and banana suits. Oh, you never wanted it. Oh, you never wanted it. I can prove it. Oh, you never wanted it. That's the reason why. Freaking idiots in banana suits. You never wanted it. You never wanted it. You damn Nintendo Prime did it! I can read minds! Metroid Prime! Psychic! Call me Samus! You never wanted it! Oh my gosh. Just a tad exaggeration. Just a tad. It was very much like that, Wheezy Does It, right? It was very much like that, though. It was close, though, wasn't it? It was close. You never wanted that Xbox! I know you never wanted it! You liar! You never wanted it! You never wanted it! You're just a fanboy of Nintendo! You never wanted that Xbox! You liar! By the way, if any of y'all got an Xbox ROG Ally X, if I can DM you on the DL for a free one, holla at your boy. If anybody got a DM for an Xbox ROG Ally, I'll take it. I'll take it, by the way. It's all good. Just joined to hear that. Yeah, that's awesome. That's what we need to do. I shouted it from the rooftops. You went on the rooftops. You're like, I'm selling it. You know? I'm selling it. Let's see here. You hated Steam Deck from the day one, you Nintendo fanboy. Oh man, Steam Deck is great until you are on the if you're on the flight and requires an update, and now you have to sit through the. Well, listen. I don't like. I'm joking with everything that I'm saying, guys. I know the truth is this. The truth is how I really bought my Steam Deck was this. Okay, there was somebody outside, and I was outside and I was walking around, and it was an old school trap. There was a box with a stick, and then somebody had a Steam Deck there, and I was like, who? You know? And I went to, like an old school trap, and there was somebody hiding behind like a garbage can. And I went to grab the Steam Deck, and they pulled the stick out from underneath it and caught me, okay? I had to answer a couple different questions, and they let me go with the Steam Deck, but I just got caught. That's really what happened. I didn't go out there and buy it with my money, okay? I literally saw it on the ground, and I thought it was going to be something that I can just pick up, and I got caught, but I was able to talk my way out of it, with the Steam Deck in hand. So that's really the real story of how I got it. Like I said, it was a stupid thing. Like I said, there was a box, stick, and a Steam Deck, and somebody behind there, they were trying to capture people, and I just, for some reason, I was attracted to it, and I grabbed it, I went underneath it, and I just got caught, and luckily they let me out, though. Luckily they let me out. I had to smooth talk my way out of that situation, That was my experience. That was my actual experience. Oh, man. Let's see here. 4 hours probably too long, in my opinion. 4 hours? For what? No, that's exactly how I sold my Steam Deck too. Oh man, I'm angry that you sold your Steam Deck. How dare you, you Nintendo fanboy, you bum, you weirdo. How dare you do that? How dare you? You never wanted it. You never wanted it. You just bought it because you're a poopy head. Okay? You never actually wanted it. So anybody that actually buys a Steam Deck here, you never actually wanted it. I don't have to prove that you never did. I'm just going to say that you never did. Okay? Sit through the whole flight with a paperweight. Oh, because you couldn't play it because of an update? You can't play the Steam Deck offline. It doesn't work offline. I don't know. I took it on. I played Persona 5 on it on my flight, so I didn't have any issues with Persona 5. I think when I went to, where was I going to? Forgot where I went to. Was it? God, I forgot where I was going. I went somewhere with Persona. Oh, sorry, did I say Persona 5? I meant Persona 3 Reload. I didn't respect the real gamers when I sold your Steam Deck. You didn't respect the real gamers, bro. Oh, mine been sitting for a while. Gotta dust it off. Gotta brush the dust off your shoulder. You gotta get that dirt off your shoulder, So that's what happens. So So yeah, get that dirt off your shoulder for a bit. So yeah. Make sure you guys hit that like button though. We are pretty much gonna wrap up the stream. Yeah, okay. We gotta wrap up the stream, guys. I want to say thank you so much to everybody who was watching. Thank you to everybody that came out to the stream. You guys are incredible. I had a new short today, so if you guys want to go watch my Mega Man short, please go watch my Mega Man short. I think it's a really fun short that was out there, so go watch it. Go drop a comment. Go watch my Mega Man short, and then check out my video that's linked to it. So if you haven't seen my video talking about Capcom today, it's awesome, but my short is right there, so you can go watch the short if you're interested in Mega Man and Capcom and what's happening there, because they did talk about maybe a new Mega Man coming out. So please go watch my video about the Mega Man, the short first, and then linked in that video is my bigger video. So if you're interested, you can watch it. Now, and if you're not interested, that's okay, but just go watch my short first and drop a comment. All right, so if you guys, we got 214 people here. I don't see why all 214 of you people could not go over to my short, show some love, drop a comment, hit the like button on there. I mean, it's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's super easy to do, in my opinion. Like, I don't think it's a hard thing. Like, look, I can show you guys right now. Like, a lot of you guys, you go to the shorts, you know, you click on here, you click on here. I'm gonna show you guys something right here. Look, the short is right there. It is not hard to do. Boom. Right there, not hard. There's the short. It's fun. It's talking about Mega Man Legends. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta talk about Mega Man Legends. So you guys can head on over there. Head on over there. Watch the short. Drop a comment. Hit the like button. So go there. Hit that like button. Drop a comment. Boom. Drop some comments on there and all that. I love this short. I love this short. OJ? So go drop a comment. Go get some love on the shorts, man. Go get some love. I'm gonna hit like button on everybody that that drops a comment on here. So send us the figure drawing. There you go. So make sure you guys go check it out, you know? So go check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Thank you guys for being awesome. Go watch the shorts. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Go drop a comment. And of course, there's a bigger video linked in the description or whatever. So if you want to watch that, you can do that too. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your support today, though. You guys were awesome. Combo breaks going further than beyond. I appreciate it. You guys go watch my short. I've said that like 15 million times now already. So go check that out. And yeah, we will see you guys for the next one. We might be off tomorrow because this weekend we've got big plans for the second half of the week. We've got the Game Awards on Thursday. We've got the marathon stream on Saturday. So I'm probably gonna take tomorrow off when it comes to streaming, but we'll be back with edited videos. I'm gonna have multiple videos, probably 2 videos and a short, or at least 1 video and at least 1 short, maybe 2 videos. So I'll work on something big for you guys when it comes to videos. We might even have like a top 10 list. I might do top 10 Metroid games. I might do something kind of saucy too. So we'll see for that one. All right, guys. So I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate that. Thank you guys for being awesome. You guys are incredible. We will be back. Like I said, we'll be back on Thursday. Marathon streams, which should be awesome. We've been waiting forever for this marathon stream. Then, of course, the Game Awards live reaction. That's going to be awesome too. So it should be a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to this week, man. Looking forward to this week. So it should be good. All right, guys. I think that's it. I am going to go relax a bit. I'm going to probably go play some Metroid Prime 4 and chill. And then tomorrow I'll get to work in the morning, getting you guys some videos and all that. Yeah? Sound good? Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So if you've already seen my short and you don't want to watch it again, you can watch my most recent video, which is up. My most recent last 2 videos have been decent. So go watch my videos if that's the case then. So, all right, guys. Love y'all so much. We'll see you guys for the next one. All right. Peace out. Thank you to everybody who dropped donos too. You guys are all awesome. Woo, 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 woo. Thank you. Seriously, though. Thank you to everybody who dropped donos. Thank you to all the Elite Ninjas. Thank you to all the ninjas that comment. You guys are so cool. So thank you, guys. I just want to make sure that I say that. Shout outs to everybody. And big love to Yak Diesel. Shout outs to Justin, everybody that dropped donos. I appreciate all of you guys.